Live? I hope you can hear me. I'm getting a little green box around my name, so I'm guessing that means you can hear me. So, uh, all right. Well, let's see who, if anybody, trickles in on this before we get started here. My second live stream today. People are like, "Oh my God, we've had enough of you." I get it. I get it. But what's different about this one is, like I said in the last video, last stream I did, is that next time I was going to move over to Rumble and check out the Rumble studio. And I'll already tell you right now, this is a million times better than the YouTube studio. The YouTube studio is stupid. Uh, can't can't believe I think the YouTube has a studio just for people like whatever, just go live and yap or something, but not for anybody who wants to do anything with any sort of seriousness. um, in the ways of like people use OBS or StreamYard or Restream or Meld or whatever. But there we go. So like I said, I'll give a couple minutes here. Am I live on the YouTube side? It does look like I am, I think. Yes, it looks like I am. Cool. All right. Do I have to do anything over here? This is my first time ever using Rumble Studio, so bear with me just a moment here. No, it doesn't have to go unlisted after. Okay. All right, like I said, wait a minute or so to see how many people jump on in, and then we'll hit the book. If you missed the first video is me trying to figure out YouTube Studio and just talking with folks and going through Coriolis, the Great Dark, and seeing what's different. This isn't the traditional type of read through that you get from me and Heathen Dog. This is going to be much more haphazard. This is more of a test for actually the Rumble Studio than anything else. But I figured we'd do that while covering a game that I don't know if we'd have the opportunity to jump into anytime soon on this, and I want to get it while the iron's hot, so to speak. Um, so far, I like what I've read. Now, I tend to not like later editions of games. There's a few exceptions to that. I tend to like the original, especially the more changes they make, the more I don't like it. But so far, I actually like what I see here. We'll find out as we get into the core mechanics here in a few minutes. Right. Okay. So, wow, 2 people watching? That's low even for me. See, what time is it? It's 4:30 my time, which means people are probably doing dinner or driving home from work. Yeah, I get it. Like I said, I'm gonna give, or they're just annoyed that I streamed earlier and they're like, "Nah, not again." However, people think that's fine. And oh, that's weird. YouTube's numbers are different than what I'm seeing over here. Whatever. Like I said, we're 3 minutes in. I will give it to probably about 5 minutes and then I'll get started so people don't have to wait too much. They'll be like, "Oh my God, I just wanted the information. Here you are again." Those comments always make me laugh. And yes, I've got floaties in here. It's some sort of protein powder. What's that over there? But no, it's definitely different. It's I like the original Coriolis already as it is. I did a few videos in the past on it. We did the series like a year and a half ago. We did a series just through Coriolis Third Horizon. And yeah, I kind of got this one more to support Free League than anything else. Also to update the Coriolis universe, but I wasn't exactly sure what I might do with it. But I will tell you right now that after reading it, I I think I want to play a game of it. Well, no, not a game. I would like to be in a campaign of this. But we'll see. We'll see how the mechanics change. But we're coming up here. We've got about 30 seconds left. Let me my screen swapped out here. The link went out. He's probably sleeping right now because he works nights, but I do have the link out to Gaming with ADHD if he wants to pop on in here. Looks like he tried once a while ago or twice and either didn't hang out or Rumble didn't like him or something. I don't know. But there we go. The studio does not have enough for me personally, but I think it's a good it's definitely better than the YouTube one, but I think it's a good basic studio, and it allows you to co-stream to different sites, so, obviously, the folks on YouTube right now are like, "Oh, I'm watching on YouTube." Well, yes, you are. There you go. So, uh, already there, it blows away, the YouTube studio. And no, I'm not gonna use my phone to figure out how to add people in. I ranted about that in the last video. I'm not gonna do it again here. Stop with this whole, "Get on your phone." No. Why don't use TikTok? Because it's for 12-year-old girls, it's not for people. Okay, let's look at our core mechanics here. We looked at kind of character creation to some degree, read through the intro. I don't I probably wonder, is this a clickable PDF? Let's see if this is a clickable PDF. Look at the little mappy thing here. And your explorer core mechanics. Yes, it is. Look at that. And it works. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Look at you, Free League. Look at you. I like Free League. Free League's been good. Apparently, the person that I was in the most contact with over there, I think her name is Jenny. Apparently, she moved on to another company. That is really sad because Jenny was awesome. She always helped us out whenever there were any issues. And she was just a generally good person. And but to be fair, I've had a couple of contacts with them. I forget the dude's name this time, but I think Chris or something like that. But he was on the spot and helped me out as well. All right, let's look at these core mechanics. Nobody's better than their assimilated knowledge and proficiencies. Without their experience here, but dragonflies destined to die after a day. Wait a minute, dragonflies don't die in a day. Either that, or we have a whole ton of dragonflies around where I work. These things are just born and popping off constantly. All right, here we go. The world of Coriolis, the Great Dark, is a vast and unpredictable place full of challenges and unexpected turns. Eventually, situations will arise where your abilities are put to the test. When that moment comes, it's time to break out the dice and rely on your attributes and talents. 6 attributes define your explorer. As mentioned in the previous chapter, these indicate your core strengths and weaknesses. Talents, on the other hand, represent narrow fields of knowledge and abilities that you have acquired during life. Okay, so that is something that we kind of talked about in the original stream. Was it seems like talents are now skills. That's a pet peeve of mine. When games that use the same engine redefine the terms, that is really annoying. Stop doing it because talents are actually a pretty particular thing. In hey, good to see you. Oh, look at that! It's on the screen. Well, it's not in the way of anything, so I don't care. That's kind of cool. Do I have an option to turn that on or off? Live chat. What are these? Dynamic overlays. Live chat, viewership stats. Oh, okay. Oh, viewership stats. Boop, boop. I mean, I don't care if you see how few people are watching me. And live chat. Okay, I get it. Donation banners. What's that? Can you donate? Display banner when donation is received. Oh, okay. So unlike the YouTube studio, like that didn't. How do you not show your own donations? It's a super chat from your platform, and you, oh, whatever. That was weird. But welcome back, and I'm glad you're here. We're now going through just 3 of us. Yes. Oh, look at that. And you don't even count because you're my wife. uh, that's like me using my private account to watch. But thank you, Noro. Thank you for being there and probably going to give me a bunch of grief. So, but as I was saying, talents are a very particular thing in like all the other games, and now you want to reinvent them as skills in this one. That's not a good idea. Like I know other things were reinvented, like having 6 attributes instead of 4, but this no, that was not a smart move. All right, rolling dice. To attempt something difficult or dangerous, first describe what your player character is trying to achieve. Then add the attribute score that best matches the challenge at hand. Uh, and the level of any one applicable talent you have. Oh, so you don't have skills directly under each attribute anymore. But to be fair, Coriolis, well, kind of did. But it had the basic attributes or basic skills and the advanced skills or whatever. I forget what they're called. So it kind of went its own direction when compared to other Free League games anyway. Right there. So this sounds almost like a human in Forbidden Lands, where you get to, I wouldn't say you get to pick. The game master would have the final say, but you pick your talent, you pick your attribute, and then the talent that goes with that attribute for what you're trying to do. Okay. So it's a little bit more generalized, a little more open ended. I'm cool with that. Grab as many base dice. They say golden. They look more tan to me. I'd love to have gold dice that ruin my desk. I'm talking pure gold, solid gold, not gold flaked. Roll that thing. Ow, 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 ow. And then it just clunks on the table. Breaks your die roller. That'd be awesome. If you have the right tools, you also get a number of gear dice. Which are those? You can barely see that. I know I'm just a little box in the corner there, but hey. So then roll the dice. So let's just arbitrarily say, oh, does it give an example? If it gives an example, you use it. Okay. For your action to succeed, you must roll at least 1 6. That's the little Romulan Romulan symbol there. And if you, yeah, you can see it on the screen. It looks like that on the die. I'm sure you can't see it. Well, maybe a little bit. YouTube emojis not showing on Rumble, though. That's true. Well, it actually doesn't show in YouTube chat either. It does on the chat screen you guys see, but like when I'm using StreamYard or Restream or whatever else, it doesn't translate over to the browser either. So I think that might be a browser thing. I don't know. Where we if not, your action fails. So yes, you have to roll at least 1 6. That's pretty standard in Free League games. Now that is a little different than the original Coriolis. Now I'm not trying to do a complete comparison of what this is versus original Coriolis. This isn't that type of video, but you are going to hear that a lot from me because I'm trying to just wrap my brain around everything that's happening here. In the original Coriolis, 1 or 2 successes was a marginal success. 3 or more successes was a full success, or whatever term that they use. The reason that might not be the case in this one is I think you're rolling fewer dice. So, okay, when to roll. Generally, the adventure location text will indicate when to roll dice and what attribute to roll for, as well as suggested talents. Wouldn't that be suggested talents? However, the GM can always call for a roll in a situation he feels warrants it. We recommend against excessive dice rolling, however, saving the rolls for dramatic and tense situations where something is truly at stake. Wasn't Free League the ones? They didn't invent the rule, but for me, kind of codified it in a way that pretty much said, if the roll is meaningful, if the outcome is unknown, success or failure, right? You don't know if person's going to succeed at the task. You don't know if person's going to fail at the task. And the result of that outcome is meaningful. Like as in, if you fail, something bad's going to happen. If you succeed, something good or mundane, whatever is going to happen, then you roll. You don't roll for somebody driving to work. Later, no. You don't drive for someone to, you don't roll for someone to drive back and forth to work. You do roll if he's in a high-speed chase with somebody. Did YouTube drop? Did we lose video on YouTube? For that matter, did we lose video on Rumble? I'm getting a black screen on my YouTube preview. If anybody's there watching, we've got 3 on Rumble, 7 on YouTube at this point. Please type in chat if you lost video on either platform. This is my first time using Rumble Studio, so I need to know. No, okay. Weird. My preview. You still see me on YouTube? Okay, perfect. Yeah, my YouTube preview screen over here is just a black screen. Das ist führt. Whatever. Okay. We're just gonna move on then. So I guess we talked about successes there. If you don't have custom dice to play Coriolis the Great Dark, you can use any 6-sided dice in 2 colors. And we talked about that in the last live stream as well. You don't need specialty dice to play the game. You just have to worry about 1s and 6s. And 1s you only have to worry about, and I'm sure we'll get to it in a moment here when you push your roll. And this gives you the percent chance of succeeding at any test. No, you can't go. You must stay and pad my numbers, lady. Of course you can go. Gear bonus. To improve your chance of success, you can use equipment. A useful object will give you a gear bonus. A number of gear dice to roll. Remember, those are the black ones. You roll your gear dice together with your base dice when you perform an action. You can only use one piece of equipment for a single roll. Not all equipment provides a gear bonus. If no bonus is listed, the item is needed just to perform a specific action or to achieve a specific effect. Okay, so sometimes you just have to use gear to get something done. That doesn't give you a bonus. That just simply allows you to use your skill. Other times, you can use gear to increase your chances, but you can only use one piece of gear. Now, maybe it'll talk about the idea of bonuses and making things easier or harder. Don't know yet. We'll see what this game says vice the other games. Pushing your roll. Well, there's pushing. We love pushing. If you are desperate to succeed with a dice roll, it's a die roll. If you're desperate to succeed with a die roll for an action, you can choose to push the roll. This means that you grab all the dice that didn't show a 6 or a 1 or a gear. So basically a 6 or a 1. Remember, the 6s are the same on both. Let's show those right now. Flip that around so you can see it. Doesn't matter which one. The 6s are the same on both. They got that little symbol. Or if you're just using normal dice, you just look for the 6. The 1s are different. I don't know why. Again, kind of silly to me. But, I mean, wow, that's a gear die. Well, we knew that anyway because it was black. Let's get that up there. There you go. There's the gear die. All right. So, if you roll a 6, a little, was it sigil or a broken gear? Let me backtrack here. You re-roll all the dice that are not a 6, not a Romulan starship, not a sigil, and not a broken gear. So you roll your 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And guess what? Those are really easy to find. They look like numbers. There you go. They look like numbers. Same with over here. Numbers. Is that on this? There we go. So you get a new chance to what? In one gear roll, you get a new. Oh yeah, okay. You get a new chance to roll 6s. So what that means is when you re-roll those dice. So let's just arbitrarily say, let me just pull out some dice here, and I'll tell you what I get. I feel like in my head I'm making this more confusing than it actually is. So I've got 5 base dice and 2 gear dice. So I'm rolling 7 dice, right? I'm not going to use my die roller right now. Just put that there. Don't fall off. So I go, oh, crap. I got 2 1s on the gear die. Oh, my God. I got 3 1s and no 6s. Oh, unless I'm really desperate, I would not. So these 4 dice right here came up as numbers. Basically means nothing, right? Nothing in a good way and nothing in a bad way. These 3 dice... Come on, stay there. Came up as 1s. They're probably upside down to you, but whatever. They came up as 1s. That's bad. Now, it's not bad right now. Right now, it's just you failed. But let's say I have to succeed. Let's say I was hanging onto that cliff and I'm about to fall off. And oh my God, I need to make this roll. Okay? For whatever that translates into in terms of talents and attributes. I cannot re-roll these. These ones that have little symbols on them. And if one were to have the Romulan starship on there, I would not be able to roll that either. But hey, to be fair, that would have been a success and we wouldn't be in this situation, right? So I get to re-roll these 4 dice, the ones that had numbers on them. I'm pushing my roll, baby. This is so stupid. And 5, 5, 2, 2. No successes. And now, a moment ago, these 1s meant nothing. Well, now they mean something. And it's about to get ugly for me. Let's read what it says. Usually you'd only push a roll if you failed it, although you can push your roll even if you rolled 1 or more 6s in the first roll to get more successes. All right. NPCs, GM should only roll dice when... Okay. So for each sigil... you lose 1 point of hope. Okay, so it doesn't hurt your attributes. You lose 1 point of hope. All right. And remember, we talked about that in the last episode. For each broken gear, after push roll, the gear bonus on your item is decreased by 1. Well, I only rolled 2 dice. That's it. Just 2. And both of them came up ones. That means the item is now useless. Usually in a free league game, that doesn't mean it's destroyed. It just means it's broken and you have to fix it, and you can't do anything with it until you fix it. We'll see what it says here later on. But yeah, so I went from that item being pristine to snapping. Yay. All right. Let's see, where are we? Gear dice after push a roll decreased by 1. If the gear bonus reduced to 0, the item is broken. All dice count after a push roll, even dice not re-rolled. Yeah, that's why you put those dice aside. Otherwise, you wouldn't get a bonus. If I had a success in there, I wouldn't have got a bonus for that success either. Oh well. Giving hope to other explorers. When you are about to push a roll, another explorer can voluntarily take any hope loss instead of you. It says when you're about to push. So do you have to make that determination before you push? Okay, let's find out. This will, however, cost the explorer 1 additional hope point, so a minimum of 1 point even if you roll no sigils. Offering hope in this way is not an action in combat, but you will need to be able to communicate. Okay. You're basically like, you can do it, buddy, you can do it. Well, in your head, you're like, oh God, his morass is, or his, well, how do I want to say this? His, not mediocrity. Why can't melancholy? That's the word I was looking for. His melancholy is drifting over to me. No pushing passive rolls. Certain rolls in the game, such as armor rating rolls or effects during a delve when explorer is exposed to horrifying events, cannot be pushed. Yeah, you can't. You can't will your armor just that last little bit of oomph. Can't do that. No. So, hello, hello. By the way, for the folks who care, because there are some people who are following, like what's going on here. I am doing a stream through the Rumble Studio, and it's not as good as StreamYard, but I like it so far. Definitely 100 million times better than the YouTube Studio. So I'm liking it so far, and you can see the chat on the screen. Isn't that nice? All right, let's scroll down. You can only push a roll once unless you're a dwarf in Forbidden Lands. If you don't succeed on your second try, you just have to deal with the consequences. So, not only did I fail, if I would have just left, I would have not pushed this roll. I'd have just been like, well, I failed. But since I pushed the roll and had those 3 negative effects, I get those as well. And no chance of recovery on that. Talents can let you push some rolls a second time. Oh, they got like the veteran ability. Okay. Repairing equipment. Equipment can be repaired. It takes a shift. Okay, we'll get into that. The time frames. I think a shift is 6 or 8 hours. I don't know how this game is going to address it, or it could be somewhere between 6 and 8 hours of time. It takes a shift and a roll for logic and any applicable talent. So you're basically making a skill roll to make that happen. A successful roll repairs 3. Wait, what? I feel like I'm. Oh, okay. That's measuring time. So successful roll repairs the equipment with the gear bonus fully restored. And we can see our times up there. We'll get to it in a second. If the roll fails, the gear bonus is permanently reduced to the current level. But if the gear bonus is 0, the equipment is destroyed beyond repair. So, ooh, that's an interesting. I don't think that was in the other Free League games. I like that, though. I like it. Sometimes you just can't repair it. And sometimes you just suck at repairing. And sometimes, I've watched enough Forged in Fire. You're trying to bend that blade. I'm going to straighten this out. I'm going to straighten it out. I'm going to straighten it out. Tink! You break it. Like, ooh, just happened. Okay, that's good. And you go unit of time. A round is 10 seconds. A stretch is 15 minutes. And a shift, they go strictly with the 6 hours here. So a quarter day. Okay. Difficulty. Normally, the GM does not assess how difficult an action is. You only roll the dice in challenging situations. We talked about that. But sometimes the GM might want to underscore the external factors either help or hinder an action. Okay. Underscore that external factors either help or hinder. There we go. Hinder. I can read an action. This is done by adding or removing base dice. That's the tan ones, or they call them gold ones. To your roll. This is referred to as +1 die, +2 dice, and conversely, -1 die, -2 dice. So you got it right there. You can never go below 1 base die. The table below describes common difficulties and their modifiers. Gear dice are never modified by difficulty. So if something's effortless, it's +3. You know, it gets to a point here. Why would you even roll at that point? So that would give you an extra 3 dice to the roll. Um, but sometimes things are just challenging enough, or they're supposed to be challenging enough, but you put yourself in a good situation. Hey, Darius, good to see you. I'm streaming directly on Rumble, sir. So there you go. I'm using the Rumble studio. Actually, I have more watchers on Rumble than on YouTube right now. That's funny. I don't think that's ever happened before. Oh, cool. And then, of course, you got to, it's demanding, it's hard, it's insane. I probably would have changed that. I would probably had hard first, demanding second, but whatever. That who cares? It's insane. -3 dice. Help. All right. Oops. Other. Excuse me. 1 second here. Yeah, I hit the. So I have a new. I have to do all that again. Uh, I have a new soundboard here, and this one is a toggle, not just I hold down. So thank you for saying that. And now I will talk about that again. I don't remember where I ended up talking before with this before the silence, so we're just going to talk about opposed roles. I like this version of opposed roles where one person, again, the like I was trying to pantomime there a moment ago, with the arm wrestling, where one person's arm wrestling, I got it, I got it. No, I'm gonna push my roll. I'm gonna get this guy down, and his response is like, nope, I'm gonna push back. I'm really gonna fight this. No, 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 and you're kind of adding that extra oomph in there. So yeah. So hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, yeah, I hit mute. I hit mute. I have it. Like I said, I have a new soundboard. So I used to before just hold it down while I was drinking or coughing or whatever. Now I have to remember I have to mute and then unmute this one. So
Whatever, I do what I want.
okay, now that said, I hate those little buttons. I think that's the first time I've ever actually done that on a stream. Uh, So, in an opposed role where there's no clear active part, a tie means there's no clear winner of the contest. If that doesn't make sense in the situation, the tie is broken randomly. In an opposed role where there's no clear active part, okay, okay. I see. Like we don't know who's really acting upon whom. One person isn't initiating. One person isn't starting the drama. Whatever. Okay, I can see that. I hope this doesn't. I hope they still use the same rules for manipulation that they did in previous games. But until I see it in writing, I'm not going to. I'm going to guess that it's there, but I'm not going to assume at this point. And what that is instead of like so for your arm wrestling, it'd be 2 strength rolls, right? That makes sense. But for manipulation, it would be manipulation versus insight. So they're actually 2 different skills that you roll. Okie dokie. Talents are special skills, traits. Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to do this. I'm going to go to the back of the book. We're on page 54. What's the back of the book? 316? Me, because my name is John. 316? Okay. All right. What I'm looking for here is that Delver Scout. Okay, that's a group. Okay, here's the character. Okay, so talents just go here. So they don't go under any attribute. Attribute chart there. Okay. So that makes, now that I've seen the character sheet, this makes more sense. I'm just so used to the skills going underneath the attributes, and it's really just breaking my brain calling this stuff talents. That is something I'm going to have a hard time getting over, is calling it talents, because talents usually mean something else in Coriolis. I do like the character sheet. A lot of people don't like fancy character sheets. Generally speaking, I don't like fancy character sheets either, because they waste a lot of space that I could use for things that I want to put on there. But as I was saying in the last video, to some degree, the Free League system is a rules light system. It's meant just to kind of keep the game going. It's not meant to be hyper pedantic about every little skill and capability you've got. I think that their character sheets work really well. So, and I think this looks good. So, okay, let's get back to page 54 and all right, talents are special skills, traits, and abilities that can benefit your explorer in various situations. Some talents allow you to perform specific feats or access resources unavailable to others. Talents that give you bonus base dice range from +1 to +3, depending on their level. Now, to be fair, that does actually sound very much like talents from Forbidden Lands. So, you know. Blade Fighter, you can go from 1 to 3. You get +1 die per talent level to close combat rolls when fighting with blade weapons. It almost sounds like they combined skills and talents into one concept now. That's really what it feels like to me. Did they think that people had too many of them? It's already rules light with like 16 skills in the entire game. Okay, the original Coriolis had more, but you know what I'm saying? Like, huh. Whatever, okay. Bodyguard. If someone within short range of you is hit by an attack, you can dive to take a hit. That's actually a talent from other games. So yes. So they really did combine talents and skills into what talents are here. Remember round 1, you're on page 20. Well, we're not on page 24. We're on 54 now, sir. So roll for agility, and if you succeed, you take the hit instead. You can push the roll. This doesn't count as an action. Wow. Diving doesn't count as an action? Wouldn't that be the same as like a dodge from Forbidden Lands? And that takes an action. Huh, okay. Oh, see, I hit the button twice that time. Huh, okay, well, we'll see. Again, I don't know how actions are necessarily used. Maybe they don't have slow and fast, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to argue it. It's just interesting to note. I like finding these comparisons, not to complain, but just like I said, to wrap my head around, where are we here? We're not going to read all of these. Defender, you get +1 base die per talent level, so it's 1 to 3 again. Demolitions expert, there's a lot of talents here. Fast reflexes. Pistolier, pugilist, thug. Oh, we got to know what thug is. What's thug? Those are social talents, okay? You can roll for strength instead of empathy when threatening someone, and you get +1 base die per talent level. Okay. So does it say here combat talents, social talents? Let's just look at agitator. You one base die, your talent when rolling empathy. So yeah, all these do say what you should roll. What's interrogator? You get plus 1 day base die per talent level. 2 rolls for extracting information from someone. That would probably be some sort of empathy or manipulation roll. Okay. That's my guess. It doesn't say it here. We'll probably have to find out later when it comes to social conflict, is my guess. Excuse me, vehicle and exo talents. See, now I'm too scared to hit the mute button. Driver, you get plus 1 base die per talent level for driving any kind of ground vehicle. Usually that's based off agility. Don't know why it doesn't say it there, but probably does later. And you can see a whole lot more in here. Quarter mastery, really? You get plus 1 base die per talent level. Setting up camp and recovering rolls and ooh, is this going to use the Forbidden Lands journeying rules? Oh, that'd be awesome. Wait, what happened? Hey, we're not there yet. Why'd you? Oh my God, what happened here? Why did it scroll to page 220? Did I click on something accidentally? Must have clicked on a link accidentally. Equipment talents, stealth and mobility. Look at all those talents. You only start with like what, 4 or 5 of them? I could be wrong about that, but that's what it seemed like. Okay, and it's got the master list at the end. Usually you put master list at the beginning, but whatever. Crew maneuvers. All right, what are these? Explorers in the employ of the Explorers Guild receive specialized group training before they are sent out into the unknown. This training is reflected by crew maneuvers that can be used in combat during delves. Each maneuver can only be used by a specific crew role. Okay, remember we talked about I was a delver in the original one. Each explorer may perform one maneuver once during the entire engagement. Now it says engagement there. It doesn't say entire session. Doesn't say entire attack. Well, I guess that'd kind of be an engagement, but it basically per scene is the way I take that so far, unless it changes that definition later. But it's not like per adventure or once per round or whatever. Often they provide a powerful bonus to a combat action, but they can also provide a boost to the group as a whole or affect the environment around the group. Using maneuver does not count as an action in and of itself. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Analyze. So list of maneuvers. You or another explorer in the same zone get plus 2 base dice for 1 attack on a specific enemy. All right, so that's creature. What's the Earth Dawn ability called? Oh, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Creature analysis. Yeah, that is what it is. Bait and switch. A single enemy within short range loses his turn. This round. Oh, just one. Just one turn. If the character has multiple turns, he only loses one, no matter what. Okay. Bird call. You call out the bird, coaxing it to use one of its Garuda powers without requiring an action. Okay. I'm not going to read them all again, but you get the idea. You get these maneuvers here. It's demolition. One zone within medium range is blocked by rubble, becoming cluttered, requires a demolition charge or explosive grenade. But it's you don't even have to make a roll. It just happens. All right. As long as you don't blow up my ears, I don't care about coughing sneezes. I do. Well, it's again, I know I'm not a pure professional here, but it's the same thing. I just get really annoyed. There's a cough button for a reason. Sometimes you can't help it. I get it. But I get really annoyed by people that eat on their streams. They're actually friends of mine I don't watch because they eat on their streams. And no, it's not just because of misophonia. It's because when we were growing up, we were taught that you don't eat in public. I'm not talking like sitting at a restaurant, McDonald's or whatever. You don't chew gum when you're giving a speech. You don't, and then I won't watch people that do that, and I don't care if no, that's some grandpa shit. Well, specifically he said grandma, but whatever. Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite in that regard. I get annoyed by that when people are all over their streams. Get a noise gate. Try to at least present yourself as a human being. But I do appreciate the comment that you made there. So, is that it? Guess we're going into the next chapter. Combat and hazards. All right. Have a little decorum is the way that it's like I told one guy's like, I'm not sitting in your kitchen while you're streaming. Okay. Or your dining room. You can go ahead and finish that. I'll be back. Upon returning from the sojourn, I don't care about that. Let's life of explorers often savage and harsh. All right, rounds of initiative. Let's see how this happens here. Yep, drawing. Yeah, okay, drawing the initiative. Yep, he uses the cards for initiative. I just say roll the dice. Get some d10s. You can do it. Combat is played out in rounds, each approximately 5 to 10 seconds long. At the start of each round, the first step is to decide who has the initiative and what order the combatants will act during the round. So I was thinking, like, what games? Pretty much every game now uses the cards. I think Forbidden Lands started it. Maybe Coriolis did. Mutant Year Zero doesn't. Mutant Year Zero uses a die, and I like that. Forbidden Lands uses cards. Coriolis uses cards. I think Vaesen uses cards. Yeah, I don't have Tales from the Loop and some of the other ones, but it's just a thing that they're doing. I guess it's to avoid ties, but I like ties. I think ties add spice, and yeah, this action now takes place simultaneously. I actually do that. It happens simultaneously. Or the other thing I'll do, like when I ran my Earth Dawn games, I always said ties go to the player characters, so they win ties. Well, whatever. Use cards if you want. To determine the initiative, 10 cards number 1 to 10 are used. Such initiative cards are included in the Flowers of Algarab campaign set. Oh, maybe that's why I don't have it. I guess I didn't get that. I know some of that stuff's in beta because I keep getting the notifications saying that I can look at the beta. Maybe that hasn't come out. I don't know. I got the dice, so you'd think, I don't know. I don't know what I backed exactly. I just know I backed the game. Yeah. The number on the card determines the order in which you act in that round. Card 1 acts first. Card 2 acts second. I do like that, by the way. You know, normally you want to roll high. It's confusing. This is low. No, the card literally tells you in what order you go. I mean, I don't see why that's hard at all. Until everyone has acted, your place initiative order is called your turn. Okay, your previous turn or your next turn can occur in the current round or the previous or next round, depending on if you had your turn in the current round yet. That sounds confusing reading it. It is not confusing playing it. There are different actions that you can perform, and some of which can either carry over or affect you now. So your next turn, if you haven't gone yet, is this round. If you've already done your action this turn, or you've already had your turn, performed your actions, well, your next turn is next round. Pretty simple. Push your initiative card by your explorer sheet so everyone can see the order in which each person acts. The GM puts his card or cards in front of him. While all participants have had their turn, when all participants have had their turn, the round is over, and a new round begins by drawing the initiative again. Good. It's one of the things Heathen Dog and I kind of disagree on. Is I like rolling initiative every round because I believe it is a scrum. Critters and creatures of the dark have a ferocity rating and get 1 turn and initiative card per point of ferocity. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so ferocity determines. So it doesn't just say number of attacks, it says ferocity. I'm cool with that. Surprise! If you initiate combat with an attack that the GM deems fully surprising, you get to choose any initiative you want instead of drawing a random card. Other combatants, including others on your side, draw initiative normally. At the start of the second round, everyone draws the initiative as usual. Nice, simple rule that I think you should use, but I kind of disagree with, only in a very pedantic way. Okay, you are my friend, Darius, now. I hate the term, I don't mind bennies as an idea. I hate the term bennies. Use your words, you're not 3. It's actually a huge turnoff for me for Savage Rules because generally speaking, I kind of like it as another sort of rules light type game. I shouldn't call it rules light. I think it's even kind of more crunchy than the Free League stuff, but it's a unified simplistic system, I guess you'd say. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But when you have things like bennies and you make me flip over cards, I walk away. Now, what was my issue with surprise here? Not much. Very hyper pedantic issue with it that I just want to say, game masters, make a call. One of the things that I agree with the 4D crowd. Oh, I just lost some friends by saying that. That I agree with the 4D crowd is you don't even have to roll initiative unless people are jockeying for going first. Here's an example. You got a lazy guard. He's sitting back. He's talking with his buddy over there. They're looking at their phones. They're comparing TikTok videos, something like that. And you take a shot. Pow. Okay, well, according to this rule, everybody pulls a card. And let's say, Jim, fully surprised, you get to choose the initiative you want. Of course, you're going to pick one, right? And then everybody rolls a card. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you go pow. And especially if somebody else on your team knows you're going to do that or assumes you might do that, that person's probably going to go first. Because this guy's going to be, even if whether he's hit or not, let's say the bullet goes in between him. He's going, what the heck was that? He's not doing anything yet. You get another action. Now, I wouldn't let 16 rounds go by with that, but have characters act normally. And sure, so maybe somebody ducks to the ground or something. I don't even think that needs to be an initiative roll. Like, chink. Oh, what was that? What was that? All of a sudden he just kind of gets down. Then he finds it was just his friend playing tricks on him or something. I don't know. But, I could see a couple of characters getting a shot without having to roll initiative. Every situation is going to be different. Use this as a guideline. It's a really good guideline. But remember, people's natural reactions for things aren't always the brightest. Okay. On the flip side, a trained soldier that actually is expecting something to happen, oh yeah, this rule is perfect. So, like I said, I know that's a very hyper pedantic scenario, but I just want to put out there that you should consider that the rules in this case set a great tone, but feel free to adjust them as needed for certain environments. This is what I like about freely games. I'm going to use the word term that I use for Palladium is once again their framework. They can't cover everything. They give you the framework you need for when the players do something weird or the situation that you have at hand there is weird, that you can adjust fire as needed, add modifiers, draw initiative, whatever, as you feel appropriate. Okay, holding off. At your turn in the round, you can choose to hold off in order to see what NPC... Are we really calling it holding off now? That doesn't even sound... That sounds stupid. Holding or reserving action. What the... Hold off. That's something you tell somebody else, not something you do for yourself. Whatever. Okay. In order to see what an NPC will do or save your action for a block or a dodge. Oh, it looks like blocking and dodging does take an action. Okay. To hold off, you swap initiative cards and therefore places in the turn order with another PC or NPC whose turn comes after yours. This is a pretty common Free League rule, so this isn't anything new. You cannot refuse the trade. Whoa. To hold off, you swap initiative cards with another PC or NPC whose turn comes after yours. He cannot refuse the trade and must take his turn immediately. Whoa. Okay. So if I've got a person at the table who's like, I want to go now, and you go after me. Wait, no, I want to go later, and you go after me. I don't like, okay, look, I guess, in 99 times out of 100, the person who gets to go sooner is going to be happier. I don't like the can't refuse part for a player character. But instead of a discussion, this does keep things going. And like I said, 99 times out of 100, the player's going to be happy that he gets to go first. So, okay. Ultimately, not that big of a deal. I just, I don't like somebody taking over my character, so to speak. Give me the chance to say no. Maybe there's a reason for that. But okay, whatever. Not that big of a deal. You cannot swap initiative cards with someone who has already had his turn. Note that all rules effects that are triggered on your turn are moved in the turn order when the initiative cards are swapped. So, okay, so your turn doesn't happen until you use it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's for ease of play. I got it. The early examples of cards, base resolution, I know, Artelsorians, Falconstein. I never played Falconstein. The only games I played from Artelsorian are Cyberpunk 2020 and Mechton. Way back in the day, I played some Mechton. I don't even know if they still make that game. YouTube has now surpassed the Rumble, folks. Got more people watching on YouTube than Rumble. Just so everybody knows, on the YouTube side, earlier today when I streamed, I did it through the YouTube studio and it was horrible. Now I'm streaming through the Rumble studio. And it is much better. Still, I still wouldn't use it to replace StreamYard or even Restream, but it is a good, it's a good general studio for just kind of getting going. And I think he went to sleep. That's why he's not here. But I did invite Brian to join the stream, and hopefully that link works for him, which I couldn't do in the YouTube studio. So I'm actually happy with the Rumble studio. It's a little too basic for my needs, but all told, I like it. And you can see the chat on the screen. That is something that on a live stream I think is actually pretty important. Not 100% of the time, but I think that's it's good to have out there. But good on you, Rumble. Good on you. Okay, creatures with a ferocity of 2 or more have multiple turns in a single round and therefore draw multiple initiative cards. When swapping cards with such a creature, you decide which card you want, as long as it comes after your current turn in the initiative order. Creatures themselves rarely hold off, but can if the adventure text or GM says so. Yeah, this whole... Yeah, whatever. You know, I like I said, my quibble over this is the fact that there's no recourse. But in every one of these options, you're going later in the round. So usually people want to go first. So I gotta stop worrying about that. It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. It's not that big of a deal. Too many draws. And this combat in this game is fast and deadly and rarely lasts longer than 3 to 5 rounds. Wow, I love that. But wow. Drawing initiative every round gives more dynamic flow of play, but should you find it cumbersome, you can draw initiative only in the first round of combat. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Holding off and swapping initiative cards can still be done. To be fair, I think most of the other Free League games do have you only drawing cards. Nope, that's not true. I think there are 1 or 2 others, though, that have you... Is it Alien? Man, I can't remember which one. Some of them have you drawing every round. Some of them don't. Draw every round. Draw every round. Combat is a scrum. Sometimes you think you're going to act first. The only thing that I wish would exist in a game, and I've tried to bake this into a couple of games, both D&D and Earth Dawn, and it never quite came out right. I couldn't find a really good method of doing this, is I do like the idea is of momentum. So like if you go and you successfully hit somebody, kind of think of it as like a combination, so to speak. You don't automatically win initiative next round, but you get like a bonus to your initiative. The reason that it fails is because that's great in a one-on-one fight. But when you have a group of orcs over there, a couple ogres there, you've got your party here, maybe a barbarian or two, or we'll call it a bandit or two over there, and you've got all these different initiative rolls going on, you're only really fighting the one guy. So to that one guy, you have a +2 to initiative, but to everyone else, or you get too much of an advantage for hitting. Like, well, why does your ability to hit him affect these guys over here? It had nothing to do with it. So I'm oversimplifying the issues because I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. But I always like some sort of a momentum system that if you successfully attack, and especially if the opponent doesn't successfully attack back at you, that you should be able to keep that momentum going, just not with a guarantee. They still print all the library? Okay, you know what? I might have to go get some Mechton. Take a look at that at some point. NPC initiative. To make things simple, particularly in large fights, GMs can draw a single initiative card for a group of NPCs. All NPCs in that group act on the same turn in the round. That's kind of how I do it. We talked about that with initiative in our last video on AD&D 2nd Edition that Heathen Dog covered. I do group initiative. By group initiative, I do it by... Again, I'm talking... Let's do the orcs and goblins thing. All the orcs have the same initiative. All the goblins have the same initiative. All the ogres have the same initiative. I do it that way, and then the player characters each roll initiative individually. I don't do side by side. I personally just don't like it. I'm sure the wargamers love it. Number one, I'm not saying that disparagingly, but I get where they're coming from, and people who just want it to go. That's fine, but I don't know. I like that mix. I like the more mix and match stuff. The order among them is then decided by the GM. When a PC holds off to swap initiative cards, he swaps initiative with the whole NPC group. Flip the card. Once you have had your turn, in the round, flip the initiative card face down to make it clear that you and everyone else that your turn is over. You're donezo. This means that you cannot perform any reaction such as blocking or dodging later in the round. This is where the Palladium system excels. Yeah. In a round of 5 seconds, as somebody who's taken martial arts many years ago, but taken martial arts and sparred a lot, and you can block, punch, and kick in 5 seconds. You know? Well, with that said, I'm not going to complain. Remember, it's sauce for the goose, sauce for the gander. The enemies have the same thing, but I've always liked the Palladium system with its multiple actions, so I can still attack. Sure, my dodge takes up one of those attacks. I get it. And I have special rules for parrying that doesn't just give you unlimited parrying, but you still have a lot. But parrying with this hand, blocking with that, or punching with that hand. I mean, it's actually something you're taught. But okie dokie. On your turn in the round, you can move and perform one action. You simply explain what you want to do. Some actions will require you to roll dice to see if you succeed. An action in combat can be many different things. The list on page 59 summarizes those. 59. Oh, down here. Okay. So if you can see those are different. We're not going to go through all those right now, but it gives you things that you can do. Decontaminate. All right. Well, that's important. All right. Go back up here. Some actions are not performed on your turn. Are not performed on your turn, but on the opponent's. These are called reactions and include things like blocking and dodging attacks. Yeah, especially if you go first, you can't block an attack that has not happened yet. Duh. So you react. Oh, by the way, I already know how this is going to sound, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's going to sound like I'm fishing for Rumble rants and super chats. Maybe I am. No, but since I am using the Rumble Studio, if anybody out there wants to be gracious enough, look, a 99 cent. I don't know what the lowest number is. I think it's $2, might be $1. If you guys can test the Rumble rant and super chats on how they appear here, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to, and don't feel obligated to do so, it just helped me with my test because I can't see it any other way. I understand people not like him, but I have an appreciation for Heroes 12 phase second system. I don't actually have a lot of heartburn with that phase system. I don't. I know, yeah, you're right. There are some people that do. We played Champions back in the day, and I don't have that big of a deal as long as I know going in what's going on. I think there's a version of it that kind of changes the phase system to something really weird where, believe it or not, if you have like a higher number, you go second or something. Like there's this weird aspect. I think it's one of the later editions. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I mean, Heathen Dog covered, was it 6th edition Champions? I think it is. I have the 5th edition books behind me for Hero System, not for Champions, because I like trying to figure out what I can build on that. I want to build a vehicle, but I want to limit myself. So let's use the points from the Hero System. I like that. So I'm doing this as a test. That's really nothing more than that. I do try to stream all of our stuff on Rumble. Here's the problem. I do. All the live streams are saved, but they're private. I really, 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 really wish Rumble had a members only type concept. Like YouTube has, because I'd love to have all those past live streams available for everybody who's a subscriber here on Rumble. But as far as I'm aware, they don't. Now, maybe Rumble Premium gives you access to it, but that isn't something I select. I literally select private because I only get 3 choices. And I really wish one of my choices was, Rumble Premium or private. I don't know. You guys know more about Rumble than I do, because I do that on the YouTube side as well. The live streams go to members only because there's a lot of commentary and things in there that aren't meant for the videos that, we want to kind of give access to our members for, including our members only live streams. I would love to do a members only live stream for Rumble because I do have a few Rumble subscribers. I absolutely would love to do that. But until I figure out how that is done, I don't know how to do it. Let's just put it that way. Especially since I typically use StreamYard. But I would love to do more on Rumble. I loved it when the YouTube and Rumble talked. So my videos from YouTube actually passed over to Rumble because my videos are long and they're big. So downloading them and re-uploading them all the time sucks. Oh, hold on here. That actually came with a donate. That donation button is so small, man. Okay, so I can put that. Can I do that with other stuff? Uh-oh. What just happened? Okay, there we go. It scrolled. Can I do that with other chat? No, it's just the donation ones. That's all. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, good, good. I like that. I like that. And thank you very much for the $10. Does it say that you did $10 up there? I can't see it. Hold on. Let me make it big on my screen. Boop. Oh, the chat comes over that. No, it doesn't. It just pops up on there. I don't see a number. That's fine. But thank you very much for the $10. Like I said, I'm trying. Oh no, I can do the other ones. Oh, I just make the screen bigger and things work. Well, I want this to appear special. You donated money. I don't want this just to be another chat. Hold on, is there something I can do over here? What's this? Pin on timer. I don't know what that means. What happens when I pin your chat? Oh, it's up there. Oh, okay. Well, it's up there. Your donation is up there. Okay. I wish you'd give me some more of a bling or something, because I barely even saw that little $10 thing. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're awesome. What happened to that chat? So why did it scroll my other chat here? Oh, donations. There's a donation tab here. Okay. Again, it's really small. I have a 4K monitor and I'm using half my screen because the other half of the screen is the book. So, okay. And there's some private chat in case Brian shows up. All right, that's cool. I guess the only thing I don't like is that a lot of my other chat went away because I clicked on it. That's yeah, that didn't make it go away. Oh, good. No, you guys have helped me learn some stuff on Rumble. Thank you. That's what this stream's about. I know somebody's be like, oh my God, get back to the book. Well, this is more about me learning the Rumble stuff than it is read the book. It's just, the book is the bonus, and I hope you guys get something out of it. So thank you. I appreciate that. And let's move on here. Okay, where are we? Flip your initiative card after performing. Oh, so these are called reactions and include things like blocking or dodging attacks. This replaces your own turn in the round, which means that you cannot perform a reaction if you've already had your turn and performed an action. Flip your initiative card after performing a reaction to mark that you have had your turn. Wow. Okay. That's your choice is to dodge or punch back. In a way that kind of matches my momentum system to some degree. The dude punched you in the noodle, and you get to choose to, you don't get to attack because you're like, oh my God, flurry of blows. Ow, ow, ow. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is the way most free league games are, though, if I'm remembering correctly. No, a lot of them have slow actions and fast actions. I'm just trying to think. It hurts. I don't like thinking. Let's move on. The game is what it is, right? We're reading this game. We're not worried about the other game. So let's just continue on with it. Dropping to the ground or shouting a few words are called free actions. They don't count as your action in the round, but you can only do them on your own turn. Okay, this might be a reason to steal somebody's initiative from. See, draw a weapon, draw, exchange, or put away a weapon kept at hand, change position. So draw, exchange, or put away. That means you actually can sheath the thing. You don't just have to put it on the ground. You can even swap weapons with somebody, apparently. Draw a weapon, I'm guessing, is for bows. Well, actually, no, it's unsheathing it as well. Okay, I get it. Throw yourself to the ground or get up. Wouldn't that be a dodge? Drop equipment. Drop a piece of equipment to the ground. Shout, you can say a few words. Maneuver. Use a maneuver for your crew roll. And we talked about those above. We only looked at a couple, but we talked about those above. So, cool. All right. We looked at those zones and movement. Okay, so this is using the zone system that Free League is pretty we'll say famous for, I guess. Some people like it, some people don't. Again, I have to say this over and over again. This is a pseudo rules light game. I always have that caveat in there. It's not really rules light because the people who love like Tiny D6 and Risus and some of these other one-page rules games, like that game isn't actually rules light. Well, it's rules light compared to a lot of other it's rules light compared to Pathfinder, rules light compared to Palladium, it's rules light compared to Dungeons and Dragons, it's rules light compared to Battle Lords of the 23rd century. So um I see it as a rules like game. So that means it's going to simplify a lot of things that maybe the pedants or the simulationists out there might not be as okay with. But the zones are an interesting way of handling ranges. Engaged is somebody right next to you, usually 2 to 3 yards, or I guess meters because it's a Swedish company. Short is in the same zone. We'll figure out what a zone here is in a moment. Usually like the same room, or if you're like in a big arena, it's in the same general vicinities, usually around 20 yards or so, or 20 meters or so. So there. Medium in an adjacent zone. So you're shooting into the next room, or you're shooting past 20 meters, like 20 to 50 meters, we'll say. Long is up to 4 zones away. And then extreme is even further than that. Um, let's see what the game says here in just a moment. So zones can have various features which affect actions performed. Cluttered zone is covered with dense undergrowth or filled with debris of some sort. You're going through that maintenance closet that's got the hatch in the back, and you're trying to walk through it, or you're in the trash compactor in the Death Star. That's cluttered. You must roll for agility to move into the zone. Dimly lit. Perception rolls and range attacks into the zone, in or into, get +2 base dice. Range attacks can't pass through the zone. Hey, Malachi? By the way, Malachi, I am streaming on using the Rumble Studio right now. I don't know if you've got a Rumble account. I mean, you can stay on YouTube because Rumble allows me to stream to both, but I'm just letting you know that I'm streaming on using the Rumble Studio this time. And cramped, a crawl space or a narrow tunnel right for the face hugger to get you. In a cramped zone, you can only crawl, not run. You also cannot move or shoot past individuals next to you against targets behind them because they're taking, their big fat butt is taking up most of the area. You could be, sidling sideways to try to get through. You could be crawling. All that is crap. Okay. Borders and line of sight. The border between 2 adjacent zones can be open or blocked by a wall. A block border can have a door or a hatch, allowing movement between the 2 zones. Open borders open borders don't block vision or movement. A block border generally blocks line of sight even if there's a door or hatch in it, unless you're standing by the doorway. Okay, that makes sense. Again, nice simple rule. You can obviously, as the game master, give somebody maybe an angle of fire on there if it's really that important. But it's a nice, simple rule to keep the game going. And remember, what works for you works for the enemy as well. So, the fact that you can't see the enemy often means that the enemy can't see you either. Movement. Under normal circumstances, one move brings you from one zone to an adjacent zone. Okay, so you can go from a zone to a zone. Or between short and engaged range from someone or something in the same zone. So that is, remember, engaged is near you. That's like basically melee combat range. So you can go from short, where out there 20 yards away or so, and then to right next to somebody. Running. By choosing to run your action for the round, you can make 2 moves per above. Crawling, moving while prone, counts as both your action and your move for the round. Wow, what a jerk. In a cramp zone, crawling is the only move impossible. Remember, even if you're sidling, doing a little crab walk to try to get, to try to move, yeah, that's still a crawl for the purposes of the game. Standing up, getting down. You can stand up or get down to a prone position as a free action, but you can only do this during your turn. Leaping as part of your movement, you can make a horizontal leap across chasm or similar feature. If the leap is 3 meters or more, you must make an agility roll to make it. For each meter beyond 3, you get -1 base die. Wow. Okay. There you go, Malachi. Now you're one of the cool kids. Now, I want to again. I can. Sorry, I can't see the name here. If I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize. But my Hubble telescope's on my face hole here. Oops. Hold on just 1 second. Oh. Give me 1 second. Uh. Sorry, this is the person who I was thinking that maybe might be joining, but he's got stuff to do. So he may be in later. So what were we talking about here? We were talking about something typical leaping. Oh. So you can go 2 meters, so a little over 6 feet, no roll. But at 3 meters, ooh, you've got to roll. And then each meter after that is -1. So hope you get a running start. You can open an unlocked door or hatch as part of your movement. A locked door or hatch can be broken down. A typical door or hatch can take 5 points of damage before it gives in. Okay. More sturdy doors require more force and also have an armor rating. Ooh, I'm going to be interested to see how armor is done in this game because, Free League has 2 different ways of doing armor. One is if it's got an armor rating of 3, it just reduces 3 points of damage. The other one, if it has armor rating of 3, you roll 3 dice and see if you get any successes, which of course I got ones, not success. I'm telling you, every time I roll dice on streams, my armor sucks. Not quite like in The Exorcist, but if you want to do that, you can. Oh, I know what I was going to say. We know that seeing Rumble rants, can I do this? Okay, so I can get the YouTube stuff. I'm curious if it shows. Not as curious as the Rumble rant thing. That was more important. But I'm curious if it shows that it is a super chat. I'm actually disappointed in. I'm gonna put it up there again. In this not showing that it's a Rumble rant. Not gonna lie, I am a little disappointed in that. Maybe they have the reasons for it. Like some people like to be more silent donators, or maybe it's just like, hey, you can talk about the Rumble rants all you want, but maybe somebody doesn't want you to know that he donated $2, $10, or $50 or something like that. I don't know what the reason would be, but I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't kind of put some pizzazz out there for the people who actually donate a little more. Or maybe it's a setting that I didn't turn on. But really, that's my only complaint right now. It doesn't have all the features that I would normally want for a studio, which is why I use StreamYard. But it's actually working fairly well. I consider Rules Light to be a system that eases play through consistent and possibly simplified action resolution mechanics. Yes, I agree. You kind of have to know what you're getting into, and I mean this is the player, not necessarily the game master. Know what you're getting into. My issue with Rules Light games is I know too many people that try to take advantage of all types of situations, either because they've been in real world combat or they're robotics engineers or whatever, and the roles don't account for that. And I don't like dealing with the arguments. Where it's like, guy, it's just roll your your crafting skill. Well, that's stupid. Crafting a robot is not the same as just going out there and putting together your paper mache duck. Like, but that's how the game handles it because we just want to keep things moving. So I unfortunately deal with a lot of players like that, or I see a lot of players like that. I would argue that most of my friends don't handle rules light games well. And you could possibly even argue that I don't, although I'm better about it now, or at least I didn't at one point. So I tend to like them now, but I understand both sides. Let's just put it that way. I understand both sides. I just don't like constant lookups. That's why, again, I love Palladium. Palladium's got a rule for everything if you can find it, but it's more of a framework than anything else. Wow, do people on YouTube hate me? They keep showing up and then leaving. Screw you, YouTubers. I didn't like you anyway. All right, let's or maybe they're just all coming over here to Rumble. I don't know. 14 people, that's nothing compared to what I normally get for views. But to be fair, I'm streaming it off time. I didn't advertise it. People are probably still coming home from work. Where are we here? Surprise attacks. Starting a combat encounter in a prepared and advantageous position can give explorers the edge needed to come out victorious. When you sneak up on someone undetected and perform an attack, it is called a sneak attack. Okay. Make an opposed roll for agility against your target's perception. All right. So that means you're going to roll agility dice, whatever that happens to be, and then he's going to roll perception, and whoever gets the higher wins. Now, what happens if you get a tie? Well, we'll see if the rules say something. If not, I have an idea for you. Moving close enough to attack in close combat gives you -2 base dice. Wait, moving close enough to attack in close combat gives you -2 base dice. Oh, this is for the sneaking. Okay, this is pretty common for the other games as well. Like, the closer you get to somebody, the more he has a chance of noticing you. I get it. If you fail, the enemy notices you. Draw initiative. If you win the roll, your attack counts as surprising, which means that you can choose any initiative card you want. I don't know why you wouldn't pick one, but hey, whatever. For a close combat sneak attack, you get +3 base dice to your attack. So you get -2 to get close, but once you get there, you get +3 base dice to your attack. That's pretty cool. Go Ninja Warrior. And the target cannot block or dodge it. Sneak attacks are always performed individually by one attacker against one target. Cool. Ambush. A special kind of sneak attack is an ambush, lying in wait for an enemy and attacking as it passes by. This works like a sneak attack, but can be done by or against a group. Only one roll is made per side by the person with the highest skill level. If the ambush succeeds, all of the attackers get to choose their initiative card in the first round of combat. That's okay. That's a nice, simple way of doing that. I like that. Playing with the Queen of Hearts. Okay, got to stop that crap. Darkness. It shows on other streams, likely a setting you are missing. I'm wondering if they're using OBS though. Oh, you know what? Could it be because I'm not a Rumble Premium? So there's some things you get from Rumble Premium. That could be. I know a lot of people still use OBS, even if they're using a studio like this, they still use OBS. That's my guess, but I'm not going to tell you what you see. You know what you saw, not me. In complete darkness. In complete darkness, you have no choice but to feel your way around. To run in complete darkness requires a successful agility roll, and you take 1 point of damage if you fail. Okay. You can still attack opponents at engaged range, normally in darkness, but with -2 base dice. At short range, you must roll for perception successfully. It doesn't cost an action. It's just to see if you get that silhouette or whatever. Be able to attack the target, also with -2 base dice. You cannot hit targets at medium range or more in total darkness. That's cool. I think those rules are fair. And I've seen them before. Close combat. All right, we're going to start skipping a few things here. Close combat is, we've read enough of this here. So blocking, when an enemy attacks you in close combat, you can roll for strength to block. All right. It's got some rules for prone targets here. Oh, combat. There we go. Let's follow this little flow chart here. State your target. State what weapon you're using, if any. If you're performing a special attack, say so. The target decides whether to block or not. In that order. Cool. Okay, if the target decides to block, make an opposed roll for strength with gear bonus for weapons. Reduce the number of your Romulan starships rolled by the number of Romulan starships the target rolled. And if you're using real dice, those are 6s. Just to remind folks. If any Romulan starships remain, you hit and inflict your weapon's base damage +1 for each remaining Romulan starship on the first. If no successors remain, you miss. So basically, okay, so tie goes to the defender. If the defender ties your successes or exceeds your successes, you do not hit. If you have more successes than the defender, I find that to be fair. Normally, I'd be like, come on, the attacker's doing the action. A tie should go to the attacker. The reason I would say in this case no is because it costs the defender his action for the round. It uses up his turn. So I'm okay with that. My groups would allow bonuses if you use personal knowledge and explain how your character did something. Yeah, I agree. Yep. make a straight strength roll with a gear bonus for your weapon. If you roll, this is if he's not not blocking. He wants to save his attack. He's going to try to soak it up, hoping that his armor is good enough so he can shoot you in the face hole instead. If you roll one or more Romulan starships, you hit and inflict your weapon's base damage +1 for each success beyond the first. If you roll no successes, you miss. I'm sure somebody out there is going to get really annoyed that I keep saying Romulan starships, but that is what it looks like to me. It looks like the top view of the Warbird, or even you could go back to the original series, and I forget what that version of the ship is called. It just reminds me too much of a Romulan starship. I can't get it out of my head. You can disarm, you can shove, you can grapple, and it's got grappling rules here. Nice simple grappling rules. Let's see if they're the same, though. I actually am interested in this because I like Forbidden Lands grappling rules. Grappling an opponent's special attack in close combat, he cannot move or perform any action except trying to break free. This is an action. This is an action and an opposed strength roll against you. Okay? While you are grappling, the only action you can perform until you choose to release your opponent is the grapple attack. This works as normal unarmed attack, but you cannot defend against. Okay. I got it. I think that's the same, or very, very close to the same. Range combat, you do shooty shoots. It's state your target, kind of doing the same thing here. A cover. Shrubbery. Okay. What do we want to look at here? Dodging, not worried about that. Aim fire. If you take your time to aim carefully before squeezing the trigger, you get +2 dice to your attack roll. Aiming counts as your action, meaning you can't shoot until the next round. So basically, if you take one round to aim, you get +2 to hit. That works for me. That works for me. Armor rating. When bullets start flying, you will see cover. Taking cover behind something is in the same zone as you can be done as part of your move. Cover as armor rating. See table below works just like armor on page 65. We'll be there soon. Taking cover is not a reaction, and you only get the benefits of the cover if you're already behind it before being shot at. Makes sense. I'll be there in a second. Let's go to armor, because I want to see what that is now. Armor and cover can protect you from damage. When you suffer damage from an attack, roll another gear. Okay, so it uses the dice system for this, not the automatic system. Got it. So if somebody does 1 point of damage, I'm rolling gear dice. It looks like you can only have a max of 3 gear dice according to this. So let's, I don't know for sure if that's true. Maybe there's armor out there with a rating of 9. I know like Mutineer Zero has armors with like ratings of 9 out there. I roll 3 dice because that's all I've got here for gear dice. So just stick with that. And I roll it. I got a 5. Of course I got a 1. I got a 5, 1, and a 5. No successes. So if you had damaged me, you did full damage to me. All right, let's go back up here. Friendly fire target engaged in engaged range. So basically, if somebody's in melee combat with somebody and you're trying to shoot, and you miss, you risk hitting unintended target. Roll for an attack with 2 base dice, inflicting base damage if 1 is rolled, plus and 1 damage on what? Roll for an attack with 2 base dice. Got it. 2 base dice. So no matter what your skill is, you're rolling 2 base dice. Got that. Inflicting base damage if 1 success is rolled and 1 additional damage on 2 successes. Okay, that makes sense. So for every success, so you're either doing 1 or 2 points of damage, or 0, 1, or 2 points of damage. Got it. Don't roll boxcars. This is the one time you don't want to roll boxcars. Full auto. Some weapons in Chapter 6 capable of full automatic fire. A burst of auto fire counts as normal ranged attack, but if you hit, you may immediately make another attack against the same target or a different one. Oh, if you hit again, you may make a third attack. If the third attack also hits, you don't get any more. So you can get up to 3 attacks. So what that is that's either strafing fire, right? Or it's just you're putting it all in one person. I do like how it is. And I think that's supposed to simulate recoil to some degree. If your first attack hits, you're holding it down. You've got that M16 held down, and you're still keeping it on target. If that second attack misses, you just kind of rose, and then the third one just goes off into space, right? But if you can keep it held on target, I like that. I like that rule. I think that's a good rule. That's kind of cool. After all attacks are resolved, you must reload. Okay. If you aim carefully before the attack, the bonus only applies to the first burst of the attack. That makes sense. That makes sense. Most firearms have large enough magazines for you not need to worry about counting shots during a fight. I think this is the same rule that Alien and Coriolis in the past did. Coriolis, though, had the darkness between the stars stuff that was kind of a Modifius 2D20 system style mechanic, which I liked it better than Modifius's version, though, where the game master could make you could spend a darkness point and make you reload. Up, out of ammo. Jerk, stupid. Up, out of ammo again. Jerk. You'd still get that. You'd still get to fire before you auto ammo a second time, but you get the idea. If you've used your weapon during a fight, you need to reload when combat is over. You also, that doesn't say if you used your weapon 7 times or count your ammo. It just says if you used it during the fight, you have to reload. Again, a nice simple rule. I'm sure somebody's going to cry about that. Well, I only fired 1 shot. Well, guess what? You thought it was 1 shot, but throughout the combat, I hear this all the time. I watch cop videos, a lot of cop videos, and you'll hear people say, I only fired twice. And it's like 13 rounds were found, or 13 casings were found. You're like, yeah, you didn't fire twice. You never know how people are going to react in that. And I've talked to a ton of soldiers and Marines who are all like, yeah, you know what? You're sure if you go boom, you might know. But when the heat of combat is happening around you, you're also like, why am I empty? Why is this magazine empty? And you're just putting in the other one and going anyway. Going, did I really fire that many rounds? Yeah, you did. So if you've used your weapon during a fight, you need to reload when combat is over. You also need to reload directly after each burst of fully automatic fire. Reloading consumes 1 point of supply. We kind of saw that real quickly in the character sheet if you paid attention to it. And reloading during combat is a full action. So it takes your entire round to reload. Social conflict. One of my favorite things that I think Free League did wonderfully, and that is social conflict. It found the balance between good role playing and game mechanics. Because just because your buddy at the table wants to play the face of the party and he sucks at talking doesn't mean he can't do it here. At the same time, it allows for good role play. I love this social conflict, and I wish every game would adopt it. We'll take a look at it as soon as I take a slurp here. Okay. All conflicts are not combat. What? But it's a role-playing game. Don't we have to kill everything? Sometimes you can make things go your way without resorting to violence. They've never met gamers. Instead, you trick or convince your opponents without drawing your weapon. For this, you use the empathy attribute. If your opponent is actively trying to resist you, it's an opposed roll against his empathy. Okay, so instead of using insight and manipulation like they did before, which manipulation fell under empathy and insight fell under wits, if I remember correctly, now they're just doing empathy versus empathy. That's cool. If not, it's a straight roll. Some talents may add a bonus in certain situations. Before you roll, you must state the stakes of the roll, what you want to achieve. Now, this is what I like about this. What I'm about to call a mistake, I did for probably 30 years. But I will tell you, I think it's a mistake now. You don't say, hey, how did you hurt the person? You say roll your attack roll. Hold on a second here. I don't know why I can't add you. I see you there. I see you. I clicked on you. Do I drag you? Nope. Dragging doesn't work. What if I do this? Nope, that didn't work either. Maybe because I'm not seeing video or anything yet. Just okay. Yeah, I can't bring you, Brian. I can't bring you in yet. So once we figure out, maybe once I see your noodle, then maybe we can. I don't know, but I can't add you at this moment in time. Oh, hold on. What if I do? Oh, there. So okay, yeah. See, you auto popped in after that. I did nothing.
Weird. Okay, so because you give it all the permissions, but then I just noticed that the camera and the microphone were disabled, so then I had to enable those.
Oh, okay, I'm testing something. I don't like that positioning.
Oh yeah, that's horrible because it covers up so much of the book.
Yeah. Oh, can I change that? It does not look like I can change that.
Luckily, we're learning.
That's fine. Well, yeah, that is what this is about. This is learning, and this is a good learning opportunity. Okay, well, whoa, my video quality looks like crap on YouTube. Does it look like crap on Rumble also?
I don't
Hold
know.
on.
Oh, here, it did look like crap for a second when you went to just us side by side.
Did it really?
Like for a second, but it like right now it looks great.
Okay. I'm wondering if my ISP is having problems. We had an internet outage this morning, so that lasted a lot longer than they thought it was going to last. No. All right, so Brian, you're just typing in private chat right now. You can't see that.
Oh.
I don't know how to change that.
Hmm.
Oh, you can change it by see where you see the little thing where it says private where you're typing.
Uh-huh.
You can select Rumble or all or.
No, I can't.
Oh, let's see if I can. Did it change for you? Say message all now.
It just says message private.
Oh. Okay, well that's good to know. Only I get it. Let's see if I can fix that real quickly here. Oh, show all controls, copy video frame, picture in picture. What is this? Nope, that didn't do anything. Promote to moderator. Well, guess I'm gonna have to promote you to moderator. Now you're a moderator on Rumble also.
Damn it! Mistakes were made.
Can you change it now?
No, I don't have any option to change it.
Okay. That's something maybe we can take a look at later then. I don't want to take up too much of the time on this stream. I know we are learning, and this is kind of the priority for it, but yeah, I wish I could make you vertical above or below me over there. Whoa. Oh, you have access to that now. Okay.
Wow. Okay. That's also kind of a problem. Because I have full look at me. I'm messing with the stream.
Well, this is why you trust your moderators, right?
No, I had that. I think I had that before you made me a mod.
Oh, here, hold on. Can I unmod you? Remove as moderator. Let's find out.
Oh,
theoretic.
Okay. Moderator allows it because yeah.
Dude, look at that. Learning some stuff. What's this kick button do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's
real quick. Malachi, I see you there. I just can't respond to chat outside of private for some reason. So
well, he could if he actually was watching this on the Rumble side and did a pop-out chat. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, right. I'm just saying from again, learning from the backstage, I can't. So
dude, I have 11 people watching. When's the last time you see me have a stream with only 11 people?
And
only 3 on YouTube.
I'm used to that. So, anyways.
No, I think it's the time. Also, there might be somebody else in our circle. You know, I really hope, by the way, I hope I'm not streaming when somebody else within, we'll just say our community is streaming as well. Because that, I'd feel bad. But,
I don't think anyone is.
Okay, so what I was saying, Brian, is I love the social conflict rules from Free League. I think they are an amazing balance between allowing somebody to roleplay and the game mechanics. And one of the things that I was going to touch on was for 30 some years, I handled charisma backward. This is how we tend to handle an attack roll. Make your attack roll. Did you hit or succeed? Describe your success, if you want to do that. Or you just describe the success right there, right?
Right.
But you don't do that. A lot of times you see charisma rolls. Okay, what are you telling him? Oh, and forsooth and partake upon thee, blah, blah, whatever. And then you're like, okay, make your charisma roll. And then he rolls a 1 and you're like, you suck. When in reality, what you should have done is you should have said, okay, what is it you're intending to do? What is it you want out of this person? Any modifiers? And we'll get to that in a moment. All right, make your charisma roll. What did you roll? A 1? Okay, show us how you bombed it. Or you rolled a nat 20 and it's like, okay, you might not be a good public speaker. I get that. You're shy. You got a stutter. You've you have like 3 different speech impediments, whatever. That's fine. You can still play the face character. What is it you were trying to achieve? Well, you got that. How did you tell it to him? You don't have to go into some big soliloquy. If you want the drama queen chick to do that, fine. She can go and give her, her play that she memorized right then, and give it. But you can also have somebody just be like, "Hey, I was just telling him that we'll trade him some of our shiny rocks here for his engine parts." Something like that. Okay, there you go. You made the roll, and he agrees to trading shiny rocks with your engine parts. Yeah, you're Malachi. That's so mean. I don't want to keep. I don't want to keep. Keep doing that. Every time I do that, that jumps. But
It's funny because it's true, though. We love you, Malachi, but it's kind of true.
well, while it is kind of true, I also think that sometimes we it's the dog chewing the bone thing. Sometimes that we can let go of the bone every now and again.
That's true. Well, no, but that is one of those things where I think. Well, see, I actually am going to disagree with you. I don't know if you should do the description afterwards, because, like, for me, as I've been in these in our circles over the last 2 or 3 years, or however long it's been, man, it feels like forever at this point. No, it has to. It's getting closer to like 3 or 4 years, because I think this is like the third Veterans Day stream that I'm coming up on. Anyways, whatever. But I think I like the idea of the description of what you're trying to do charismatically first.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, I if I wasn't clear, I agree with that. What is it you're trying to get? Like, even as this said here, what is it you're trying
Right.
to do? What I'm saying is, we'll just call it the role playing, the in depth, um, oh, Brian, how dare I will challenge you to another drink if you don't give me what it is that I want right now. Something, like that, where maybe, in a role play session, that would be like, huh, well, but you rolled a 1, so that actually came across as, screw you, I hate you and your mom, and I hope you all die right now, and I slap him on the face. You know, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like,
Right.
let the role determine not what you want, what the outcome is. And
Oh,
because
okay, hold on. I just reread the line. I wasn't listening to you before I came in to the stream,
uh
so I missed some of that. But no, okay. I like that. I do agree that you need to set the stakes, what you are rolling
right.
for. But also I like the idea of, like, because you said make the roll and then describe how you botched it or how you succeeded, whatever. Because I as a game master, I would like to see them at least give that try, because maybe I want to give you a bonus.
See,
Maybe
that's the way I did it too, and I'm going to tell you that's wrong. Because you don't give a bonus for somebody who's like, well, I'm going to try to use the backhand of my sword and go like this to him, because I know, because I took martial arts, that is actually the way you counter that maneuver.
Hmm.
That, so
No, well, but I'm not even saying like it has to be like like the person who's really good on like Bear.
mhm,
Bear can throw out one-liners and speeches on the fly, no big deal. Okay. He doesn't necessarily get a bonus for a big speech, but I'm talking like people like Malachi. Okay. He's not the most charismatic person, but in the role-playing game, he is trying.
mhm.
you know and if he's doing that maybe in something like that, then I might give a bonus, something like that. But
That's where I come back and say the result, since you succeeded, give your best role play attempt. And in Malachi, I'd be like, can we have your engine block? Where that's
right.
fine. He still succeeded the role. And my response as a game master is, oh, you drive a hard bargain, but okay. Because he succeeded in the role. I guess the point that I'm making is I really like the idea that this way. Okay, so because I'm picturing one of my friends, Garthon. I don't know how he is now, but I know back when he was at like my Earthdawn table or at the D&D table or the Rifts table and so forth, man, he could give out some speeches, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost want to be like, yeah, you know?
Right.
And then he'd roll a 2. And you're like, well, so you can either go full story mode and say, well, you know what? That was such a good speech. I'm not even going to have you roll. The problem I have with that, and I'm not saying that that's wrong for somebody to do at his own table. But I'm saying the problem I have with that in more modern lens is, well, not everybody's been in the military. Not everybody's learned how to fight. A friend of mine, Sheriff, learned how to fight with a rapier. He actually took, I think, a couple years worth of rapier training. He knows how to fight with that thing. I don't need him sitting at the table telling me all these weird things he's going to do with that rapier that are and the maneuver names and so forth, and I'm going to give him a bonus. Dude, you're attacking. I get it. Roll your you know,
Right.
I like to flourish a little bit, but I'm not going to give him the bonuses, if you see what I'm saying. So why would we do that for charisma? And now let's just say you, because you're here arbitrarily, well, I use my sword and attack because I don't know the maneuver names, and I know that in combat, okay, I attack low, I attack high. I'm going to try to poke him in the gut. I'm going to try to, you can gussy it up a little bit, but let's just say you're not comfortable with that. I don't want to give you a penalty or make you feel uncomfortable with that. Attacking is easier. On the charismatic side, that's like saying, hey, you suck at talking. I don't want you being the face character. This allows you to do the face character stuff, even if it's kind of out of your wheelhouse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that.
But that's why, like I said, I did it for like 30, 35 years. So, I mean, I did it the wrong way as well. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. So, but let's see. One of the other things that the Free League does really well when it comes to these negotiations is it's a tit for tat. You can't just walk up, give me all your stuff, make a good roll, and you win. That's not how it works. So let's go back and start reading the second paragraph here again. Before you roll, you must state the stakes of the roll, what you want to achieve. What you ask of your opponent must be within reason. No NPC will agree to outrageous requests or act directly against his own interests, no matter how good your roll is. Conversely, you don't need to roll for simple requests that your opponent has no reason to resist. Remember, if you're just asking him for a cup of water and he's got plenty of water next to him, he's going to give you a cup of water. The GM has the final say on when social conflicts are used. Interesting here. We'll have to see if it comes up in one of these other ones. But one of the other things that Free League used to say is you have to give something. Like you're actually doing like a barter thing here. And that's why I kind of said like I got some shiny rocks here. Maybe that's fool's gold. You got a little pyrite on you, right? But you have to give something to get something. It doesn't say that here this time. It just says don't be unreasonable. Explorer versus explorer. Generally, you only engage. Yeah, you don't. Okay, Brian, I'm rolling right now. Did I get any successes? I got 2. Finally, I get some successes. Of course, when it's trying to take crap from you, I got 2 successes. Give me whatever it is I asked for. No, you don't do that with player characters. That's dumb time. It's for NPCs. Players at the table negotiate on their own terms. Okay. Interrogation. When you want to whoop somebody's butt and get information from them, hopefully true information, you roll their empathy or strength depending on how you interrogate. Okay. Are you trying to manipulate the mind, or are you trying to beat them up?
Always beat it out of them.
Yeah, always beat it out of them. Okay, if you're a woman, if you're a man, oops. Are you manipulative?
Always beat it out of them. It's the 21st century. Actually, no, it's the 31st century or whatever Coriolis is.
Oh, I don't even know what year it's in. It's 200 years after the Third Horizon.
No. Oh, got it.
All right.
So, 33rd century. No,
group conflicts. When you want to persuade a whole group, you usually address the group's leader or spokesperson. Now, you got these negotiating positions. These are going to add or subtract dice to your roll. So for each of the following factors, you get +1 base die in a social conflict. I don't know how you'd get a gear die in social conflict. Maybe you have a Darth Vader voice that sounds really cool or something, but these are all base dice. Your request doesn't cost your opponent anything. You know what? I don't want to deal with this dude, and it's not costing me anything to give it to him. I may as well. I don't need to have any bad blood here, right? Your opponent has suffered damage, despair, or blight. He's not feeling well. He just wants you to leave him alone, or he's scared you might do more to him. Who knows? But you give yourself a little advantage. Your opponent is in custody or held captive by you. Would that just basically mean you gave it to me outright?
Yeah, I mean, my opponent is in custody. Like, what are they negotiating with?
I would, I guess the way I would read this is, okay, you have him in custody. Your choice is to either convince him to let you take it or whatever, or give you the, I guess in this case, it'd be more like giving information, right? To give you the information.
Well, yeah, to actually extract said information, or you're trying to, you're like, you've captured them. It's like, okay, I need you to lead us through the dungeon, or to show us how to get past the, dilithium transmogrifier.
I hate those transmogrifiers, man.
They are the worst.
Now you present. Oh, so you helped. I'm sorry, you helped the opponent previously. You know what? You helped me once. I'll help you back. To be fair, depending on how welcome or how awesome that help was, that might not even be a roll, or you might even get bigger modifiers. Take that into consideration. Sure. But here's the hitch that I've had people in the past, especially when I think it was when I was covering Forbidden Lands. Well, Max, this is where you're wrong about the rolls. You present your case very well. I don't believe, and Heathen Dog and I disagree on this, I don't believe this has to be role played. This could be put out as like a legal case. Here are the facts. I want X. I will give you Y. And here's why this makes sense. You don't necessarily have to role play that. Again, some people aren't going to make great lawyers. Some people aren't going to make great politicians. You okay back there? Can you guys see him clawing, acting weird, actually meowing for a change? Anyway, I have a crazy cat right now. But this doesn't have to be that monologue that you want to give. Your monologue could still be great, or it could still be Malachi. Yeah. But your case that you're presenting makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Okay. Now, the following factors give you a -1 base die. Your opponent risks or sacrifice something to help. That means he's like, dude, that's too much, man. I'm giving up some blood, sweat, and tears here for you. I'm going to need more. You're going to have to sweeten that pot a little better. Your opponent has nothing to gain by helping you. Like, I get none. What do I care that you're doing whatever it is you're doing? Go away. You are held captive by your opponent. Basically, you are not in a negotiating position. And finally, you have trouble hearing or understanding each other. This could be a language barrier. This could be, remember, tone of voice matters in negotiation. And if you got, I don't know, lots of blaster fire or jet engines or something going on around you, and you have to scream it at them, give me your stuff. No, you just sound rude now. So, actually, it doesn't seem like they have all the normal ones. I thought there are a few more. So it seems like they trimmed that list down.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay back there? I know I have a different mic, so they can't hear you now, but you're acting nuts. Don't pee on anything, please. That's my pee cat. So, we already talked about armor. Broken. Brian, if you drop to 0 health, you are broken.
I mean, one might say I'm already broken, but
maybe you're at 0 mental. I don't know.
That's fair.
If you are broken by damage, you can mumble in pain and make 1 move per round, but not perform any full actions. What that means is you're stumbling, you're mumbling, you're crawling. You cannot do anything coherent.
You are not combat effective.
Right. And you can't accidentally stumble into the switch. to flip it because that's what you were going for. You are essentially out of the action. The reason you can crawl is you can still move. And you're how do I say this? People don't just lay there. They can roll around. They can crawl if they still have body parts. You can, but you're just not coherent to the world. You're broken. All right.
Well, think about like any war movie. You know, the injured guy. You know, okay, maybe he's not moving very much. Maybe he's screaming. Maybe he's calling for aid. Maybe something. But yeah, he's not. Like the extreme cases, he's picking up a rifle and firing, but that's like the last ditch effort. It's not, like,
or he's walking around trying to find where the rest of his arm went.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's, can you do something for quote unquote dramatic effect? Sure. Can you do something to help advance the plot? Probably not.
Right. Now, I might, under extreme circumstances, especially if the rest of the players are kind of up shit creek without a paddle, I might let the guy make some sort of strength check. I forget what all 6 attributes are in this game already. Or what we're here, hold on. We're on page 69, dude. I forget what the end of the book is, 318. So we'll say like 310. There we go. Oh, I was right. Oh, that's awesome. I might have him make a logic a logic check. Yeah, logic is confused. Okay. Logic or strength check. I might have him do that. Maybe an insight check. I don't know. I can even see an empathy check. I might have the character make some sort of check to still fumble around, but fumble into that switch. Kind of like a luck check, so to speak, right?
Right.
I might allow that, but that would probably come at the cost of an experience point. Hey, Hungar the Starvarian, good to see you over there on YouTube. Just again, for folks who are watching right now, my numbers have been fluctuating like crazy. That is so weird. I'm not used to that. And they're really low, but it could be the time. I'm actually streaming through not the YouTube. I did that earlier today, and that sucked. I'm streaming through the Rumble Studio right now just to see what it can do. I'm not begging, but I am going to ask if anybody out there on the YouTube side could be so generous to do a super chat so I can see how it pops up here. I have kind of a sneaky suspicion it's just going to be just as boring as the Rumble rant was, but it would be fun to see, but again, if you don't want to, obviously don't. Broken NPC. Okay, so additional damage. If you suffer additional damage while broken, even a single point, you automatically suffer a critical injury. Ooh, I wonder what that's going to be fun. Forbidden Lands had some awesome critical injuries. Loved it. And if a minor NPC or creature is broken by damage, GM can simply decide that the NPC or creature is killed or taken out of action. For important NPCs, the Game Master can use the same rules for explorers. Got it. Would you like to dive into recovering health?
Sure.
You don't have to. I'm just
no. I was distracted because now the fact that I have audio and video on Rumble Studio. Now I'm looking at it. It's like, ooh, tempting. Even though I paid for a year of StreamYard, but that's a separate issue. All right, recovering health, and I'm having to use your video and.
Okay, just tell me if you need me to scroll. I'll try to pay attention though.
Okay. All right, recovering health. Being broken by damage is not fatal in itself. Only critical injuries can actually kill you. There are 3 ways to recover after being broken, assuming you're not dead. First aid. Someone can help you Someone can help you recover by giving you first aid, which is a full action, and rolling for logic. If successful, you heal damage equal to the number of Romulan warbirds rolled, and you are no longer broken. Only broken victims can recover health in this way.
Scrolling up.
Metadose. A metadose, page 108, automatically heals health if you are broken without a roll.
Ooh.
On your own. If no one is around to help you, you automatically heal 1 point of damage after 1 shift has passed, and you are no longer broken.
Remember, folks, a shift is 6 hours.
Ah, yes. When not broken or suffering from another effect that blocks recovery, you spontaneously heal 1 point of damage per shift of rest. You can recover health, hope, and heart at the same time.
So let's explain this out there for the folks who don't know, and I don't know if you know or not, Brian, but here's the thing about the free league system, and this is very similar to Forbidden Lands here. That damage that you take, now normally it drops your attributes, so if you take strength damage, you actually lose a die of strength. Here it doesn't seem to do that, but we'll get into that more of that a little later just to verify. And to be fair, the original Coriolis didn't do that either. But think of this, for the Palladium folks, I think you'll get this. Think of damage in this game as like SDC, and critical injuries as hit points. That's the easiest way for my crowd to put it out there. It's not exactly true, but when you're broken, you can't do anything. You're basically, knocked out or comatose or just stumbling around, just, delirious to the world. But you're not dead even at 0 hit points or zero. What is it called? Hit points here? I already forgot. There are 3 ways to recover from being broke. Well, if you're broken, do they call it hit points or health damage? Health damage, yeah. It's the critical injuries that will ultimately, or extra, to be fair, extra damage will do it as well. But it's those critical injuries that you're really going to be suffering the long-term effects from. So healing after 6 hours is not that big of a deal. And I wouldn't say it's not unrealistic. Have you ever been, anybody who's been like a boxer would probably understand this. You can get your bell rung, and then after 6 hours, go out to the bar and have a drink. It might have a black eye, got some cauliflower ear going on, but ultimately you're still fine, so to speak. Think of weapon damage in that case as not penetrating your lung, because that would be the critical hit. Think of it as bumps, bruises, and I don't want to call it superficial, meaningful but non-life-threatening damage. I hope that makes sense to folks.
Yes.
All right. You want to continue on stun damage? Sure. Or you want me to take it back up? Okay.
Stun damage. Some weapons inflict stun damage instead of normal damage. Attacks from such weapons don't reduce your health or trigger crits. Instead, when hit, you need to make a strength roll with a negative modifier equal to the damage inflicted. If you fail, you can't perform any action on your next turn, nor any reactions until then. On your next turn, roll strength again, this time unmodified. If you fail again, you're stunned until your next turn after that, and so on until you make a successful strength roll. Okay. The strength rolls can be pushed normally, and armor works normally against stun damage.
Stun damage, but not against the subsequent rolls.
Right.
Now, strength, I want to look at the character. We're on page 70 now. I want to look at the character. What did I say? 318? No, 310? Yeah, 310.
I don't remember. There we go. 310.
Got strength over here. Oh, dang it. It's not saying it the way I want. I guess I have to go to the beginning of the book. I don't know what page it would be on. Let's just pick a number. That wasn't it. I want to get to, here we go. Attributes, strength, raw muscle power, and brawn. That doesn't seem like it's also endurance the way they identify it there, but nothing else actually fits with endurance or constitution, so that would be the closest one. I wish they would have put something like that in there. Okay, remember, health comes off of your strength. Is it strength and agility? Health comes off of your, strength and agility scores. So I guess endurance is just kind of baked in there as well. So 70. So if you've got 4 dice in strength, a little above average, probably average for a player character, but a little above average for normal people. And you're trying to avoid being stunned. You want to get some Romulan warbirds here. And I got one. I got a 3/3/5 and a warbird. So there we go. I got my Romulan starship right there. So that means I broke free from the stun. What these rules state is that if you don't have a lot of strength, and this is kind of true in the world, you kind of have a glass jaw. If you don't have a good body, in this case strength, actually kind of wish they would have called it body instead of strength. But anyway, if you have a good strength in this, you're more resistant to those to that type of damage. Why would somebody with a strength of 5 be a better boxer than somebody with a strength of 2? Well, there are a couple obvious reasons. Number 1, he's rolling more dice to hit. Number 2, he's much harder to stun. Number 3, he's got more health.
I mean, stands to reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay, critical injuries. Hold on just 1 second here. Medical equipment, dying, conditions. Okay, it's up to you if you want to finish off the page.
Yeah, I can keep finishing it. I can finish it off. All right. Normal damage points represent fatigue, bruises, and flesh wounds. Painful to be sure, but not fatal. Critical injuries represent much more dangerous forms of injury. These can maim or kill you. If you suffer damage in a single instance after any reductions for armor and cover equal to or higher than the crit threshold of the weapon, you suffer. Okay.
Sorry, I'm remembering the original Coriolis, and this was in the original Coriolis as well.
Okay. If you suffer damage in a single instance after any reductions for armor and cover equal to or higher than the crit threshold of the weapon, you suffer a critical injury. Roll d6 on the table on the opposite page to see what the injury is. Note that a critical injury won't cause you to be broken in itself.
Okay.
You need to move the page.
No, I know.
Okay.
Well, we're actually done with that, so we'll have the next section in just a second. So, okay, I completely forgot about the crit threshold of weapons that was from the original Coriolis, so that's good. The D66, I can't wait to on the opposite page. Okay, hopefully, Forbidden Lands had such a great table. Love that. This is the important thing. So this kind of was explaining in better terms than what I was talking about before, but remember, a critical injury won't cause you to be broken by itself. That comes from you losing health. Health can kill you, but isn't going to have those long-term effects. That's how those two things work hand in hand.
Okay.
And then let's go up to dying, because you know what? Now tell us how we can die.
All right. Some critical injuries are listed as lethal. If you suffer such an injury, you will die after one shift has passed, unless stabilized before then. To stabilize a lethal critical injury takes a stretch of time and requires a logic roll modified for medical gear. If the roll succeeds, you are no longer dying. As long as you are not broken, you can attempt to stabilize yourself. If the roll fails, the same person cannot try again unless they get access to better medical gear, meaning a higher bonus.
Interesting. Let's take a look at so this is the gear. So, let's just arbitrarily say, okay, you have a ballistics M injector, and that didn't work. Well, now you need a decant. Well, to be fair, that's not going to work. Oh, but you could try again with a trauma lab.
Or a med lab, or yeah, okay. But yeah, no, that makes sense where. So then my question is there anything that just does straight out kill you?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Look at that next section there. Hold on just a second. Let me get this on the screen for you properly. Oh, I have to zoom out one there. Hopefully you can see that.
So instant kill. Note that 2 critical injury results will kill you outright. Okay, so you can get multiple critical injuries. Or
you can have one.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. So you can get one critical, and then the second one will kill you. But your critical injury means you need... hold on, scroll up just a little bit. Right, so the dying... Okay, so if you have a lethal critical injury, you're going to die in the next 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a second critical injury, you are dead.
You got it.
But you can have a critical injury that is bad, but will not kill you in the next shift if it's not listed as lethal.
Right. Excuse me. And we will look at that critical chart.
Right. I just wanted to make sure I was following.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, so you are damaged up to broken,
mm-hmm.
And then there are if you pass a critical threshold on the weapon, then you can get a critical damage. And if that critical damage is lethal, then you die in the next 6 hours. If you get any second critical damage, you are instantly dead.
Mhm.
Cool. All right, I followed it. Yeah, no, it's
Yep, you got it.
just had to put it all together. All right, healing critical injuries. Each critical injury has specific effects that you suffer during the indicated healing time, measured in days. Conditions caused by a critical injury heal in one shift unless indicated otherwise. No specific equipment is needed to recover, but facilities and talents may speed up healing. Crits for NPCs and creatures. If an attack against a minor NPC reaches the crit threshold, the NPC is simply killed or taken out of action. For important NPCs, the GM can use the same rules as for explorers. Crits on creatures have specified effects. See Chapter 13.
Well, we're not going to look at Chapter 13 today, but we'll take a... Do you know how to roll D66?
Come on, I'm dumb. I'm not that stupid, but I don't have any dice.
Okay, I do. I
have them, but they're in a box.
Okay. Black eye. I got him here. Mr. Battletech man doesn't have a million D6 sitting next to him constantly. What is wrong with you?
I'll explain it later.
26. So I rolled a 26. What is my critical injury? Broken teeth. Oh, lovely.
It's not lethal, but you're gonna be ugly.
I'm disheartened for one shift.
You can't eat. Your teeth are broken.
I'd
be disheartened too.
Let's see what disheartened is. Disheartened is empathy. Oh, my empathy's broken. So I will read conditions. All right. In Coriolis the Great Dark, critical... Oh my God. I'm already back to not being able to read. In Coriolis the Great Dark, critical injuries, mental trauma injuries, and blight manifestations...
You got the plague.
Yeah. Can lead to conditions. Each condition gives you -2 dice on all rolls for a specific attribute. Oh, so I'm -2 to empathy. Because you know what? I'm trying to convince you to give me that engine block again, and I'm missing teeth.
I'd like to convince you.
And you're like, okay, Billy Bob. If you suffer a condition that you already have, you must choose another condition. Oh, that's lovely. If you already have all conditions, you take 2 points of damage when you'd suffer another condition. Back in the old days of Free League, when you only had 4 attributes, having conditions for every... I've actually seen it happen a couple of times in Forbidden Lands. Having 6? How the hell are you going to get... At some point there, leave the area, the fight. Whatever's happening, you don't want to be there anymore. Hold on, I only have 5 conditions. The only one I'm not is shaken. We're good. What? You heal automatically 1 condition by resting 1 shift, in addition to recovering health, hope, and heart, unless indicated otherwise by a critical injury. Okay. Hope and despair, heart and blight. Hold on a second here. Other dangers. I don't know how much this I really want to read for today for what we're doing. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We are going to go through hope and despair and heart and blight because those are new or new-ish. We just read damage, so health, right? Now we're going to do the last 2 damage types, and then I think we're going to call it a stream because I've been doing this for over 2 hours, and YouTube is yelling at me about my bitrate. Apparently, my bitrate is too high for the stream, but I'm streaming through the Rumble. Oh, wow, I lost all my Rumble viewers now, too. But I'm streaming through the Rumble studio, so it's the one injecting to YouTube, not me. Don't blame me for the bitrate, YouTube. You're a big fat meanie face. All right, so let's see what suffering despair is. You can suffer despair by pushing attribute rolls. Oh, or by an external factor. The latter case can be the result of an ability by a horrifying creature from the dark or just a stressful situation as indicated by the GM or the adventure. The GM determines the potential despair inflicted. You then make an empathy roll. It's not an action. Each Romulan starship rolled eliminates 1 point of potential stress. You can push the roll, but at the risk of suffering even more despair if you get any sigils on the reroll. In official adventures, stressful situations are specified. Okay. Fight, flight, or freeze. In combat, when suffering 1 point of despair or more from an external factor, you are shocked by the experience, and you must choose one of these options. Run at maximum speed away from the source, attack the source of dread close combat, lose your next turn. I don't know if I like choice. Because if it's truly a panic, fight, or flight situation, you don't always know how you're going to act. Now, that's not fully true. Let's use my misophonia as an example. I always know how I'm going to act when that happens. I will always flee the area. It's only when I can't flee the area that, well, the attack would come in.
I can put this in. You can't flee the area right now.
I can absolutely flee the area by kicking your ass out.
That's
But the point that I'm making, like,
yeah.
The thing is I look at players, and players are always going to choose. The brawn guy is always going to choose to fight, right? What if that's not in his nature? What if the character's nature is to be kind of a quiet person? Well, it makes sense for him to fight because of his attributes. Yeah, but he just rolled something that's causing him to not act in his normal way. For a simplistic rule, I think it's well written. I just don't know how I'd want to do this at the table. What are your thoughts?
At first I'm like, okay, this is fine. So it kind of lets the player choose what are they going to want to do. And unfortunately, people are people, and it's like, I'm going to take the thing that is most advantageous to me. The wizard is going to flee because he can't really take a hit. The barbarian is just going to take it because, of course, he's the super strong barbarian. But I like your point of, what if the barbarian is afraid of spiders, and it's a spider that's trying to chop off his head, or eat his head,
Or if you go in the original concept of barbarians, where they absolutely despised / feared magic, they wouldn't have any magic items, wouldn't do anything with magic. I could see it going both ways. One's going to beat the living crap out of you until your brain is just goo on the ground, and the other one's going to go, oh my God, he's going to turn me into a newt. I need to get the hell out of here.
Right. Or well, no, but that's my point, is that there are ways to say that, no, what you want to do isn't what your character would do, because that's not in their nature. He's like what if the barbarian is, has been raised and is deathly afraid of the sorcerer, so maybe he would freeze, instead of attacking. He's not necessarily going to run away, but he's not necessarily going to charge in to beat the wizard, to a pulp anyways. So I think from a game perspective, I think this keeps it just nice and simple.
Sure.
All right. You're in a fight or flight situation. Here are your 3 choices. Pick one. But I do like, yeah, you know what? Maybe that's something that you could do as a game master, like a non-penalty test. Okay, so if you're suffering from despair, okay, I want to run away or I want to attack. Okay, make a test, no penalties. Like, it's still a negative thing, so I'm not going to throw more negatives on what you want to do, but make a test. Make an empathy test. With 0 penalties to see.
I mean, you just did make that empathy test to get to this point.
Right. I
hear what you're saying. I'm just reminding you of that. I'm not like saying you're saying anything wrong. I'm just reminding you that you failed the empathy test to get to this point.
Right. So I mean, right. So you failed the empathy test. So what? Like, okay. So you failed the empathy test. Now you have to run away.
Run, attack, or lose your turn. Yep.
Right. Run, attack, or lose your turn. Okay. I want to attack. Okay. Give me one more empathy test to see if you can do that. If not, it's gonna be one of the others. Because I like your point about that, but I think
what I would do is I would have, if it's how the character has been played by the, if it's how the PC has been reacting to most situations anyway, Let's say he's just an aggressive jerk. Okay,
Yeah.
he wants to attack, let him attack. But if he's a more introspective, or I wouldn't say fearful, if he's a Thane from from the Bears game, my character that I played in Bears game, a Thane would run every time. He
Right.
might lose a turn on occasion because sometimes he's just like, but attack was never in his repertoire. Even though, barring armor, I was probably the best fighter in the group. Even though as a bowman, because I was the only one with martial arts, and I had paired weapons with knives, like I could fight. It wasn't in his nature to do so.
Right.
So if I played a Thane at that point, like, it would be really cool if I sliced and diced some of these things. All of a sudden, I'm kind of out of character. That's when I'd give the squinty eye to the player and be like, and then do something like what you said. How about this? I know that's what you want to do. Make that we'll make another quick empathy check to see if you do that. Else, you're going to run away. Because that's what your character's been doing for the last 10 adventures,
Right. No, you know what? I like that. I like that. Yeah, call them on it. You want to do this cool, you want to do this cool thing, but you've normally been doing this not cool thing.
Right, yeah.
So, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
All good. Broken by despair. When your hope reaches 0, you are broken by despair. You can make 1 move per round, but not perform any actions. So this is very similar. Remember, they have 6 attributes now, not 4. And if you remember in some of the old Free League games, each individual attribute meant something, and in some of them, like I think it was Coriolis, 2 of them combined and 2 of them combined. You had health and mind, I think it was, in the original Coriolis. Now you have a third one here. Using the 4 attribute systems, if you lost your strength, you were broken by damage. Basically, you couldn't get up. You just lost all your strength. If your agility was broken, you were considered exhausted. You just can't move anymore. You're just like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. If your wits went out, you were confused. And you just couldn't think clearly. And if your empathy went out, you were either was shell-shocked or so violent somebody had to knock your ass out, if I remember correctly. like you went kind of one of 2 ways, but in every case you were ineffective. The same thing is going to happen here. Now they've got 3 because they're dividing the 6 attributes up to make that happen. So it's going to be the same thing. So when you have no hope, you are going to be brain-fooled in some way. And it says here, you also suffer a mental trauma. Immediately roll on the table on page 69. All right, since Brian doesn't have dice, guess what? Roll on the page, table 69. I rolled a 23. Where's page 69?
3 up.
Is that 69? That is 69. I rolled a 23. I'm sullen. I have become disheartened. Let's roll a big number. I want to roll a big number. 64. Okay, that's a big number. Amnesia. When I grow up, I'm going to have so much amnesia. Do you guys remember that Futurama one?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's when they're mimicking people on the like they're actors and actresses from TV shows, and they're doing all my circuits, and in typical soap opera fashion, everybody's getting amnesia. So the kids are watching, and when I grow up, I'm going to have so much amnesia. You lose all memory and cannot recollect who you are or the other explorers. You don't know who your buddies are anymore. Right. Or you can get a 66, your heart stops, and you die of pure fright. Dude, I love the mishap table in Forbidden Lands. If you mishap a spell in Forbidden Lands, you roll a 66. It says a portal opens up, a demon comes and takes you away. Roll a new character. Yes, that is how magic should be.
That's like, that's why'd my brain turn off? That's Warhammer magic on steroids.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it takes a bit to get to that point. You have to have a mishap first of all, and then you have to roll a 66.
That's fair.
So, but I love it, man. So in this case, if you somehow get your mental trauma, which could be all of me, see, so you broken by despair, so you're broken. So that means your despair is down to 0. And you suffer mental trauma, get a 66. So it's not going to happen every session, but it's there. You could just die of a heart attack. Recovering hope. There are 3 ways to recover when broken by despair. A friendly voice, someone else. Oh, this is Forbidden Lands, the Bard. This is what the Bard was good for in Forbidden Lands. Someone else can help you by talking to you and rolling empathy. This counts as an action for him. If the roll is successful, you immediately recover hope equal to the number of successes rolled. Hey man, it's all right. You're okay. No, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. You can love will find a way. And all of a sudden you're like, yes, I'm in. Wait, how many successes did I don't know. I'm gonna roll 4 dice just because I can. I got 0 successes. So my singing did not help you or hinder you. So anyway, so sorry you recovered nothing. You're still despondent and life sucks for you. But only broken victims can recover hope in this way. Drugs. Oh, yeah. Substances like gruel and smelling spice. You could just say heroin. It's okay. And cocaine. Can get you on your feet quickly, but have side effects. Well, I have to look at that in a future video. And on your own, if no one is around to help you, you automatically recover 1 point of hope after 1 shift. Really, after 6 hours of just being alone, you're like, it's not so bad. Wouldn't you think you just kind of spiral into that, where are the pills?
Probably.
I don't know. All right. That's how you recover hope. When not broken or suffering from another effect that blocks recovery, you spontaneously heal D6 point of hope per shift of resting. Now, remember, rest is you're not doing anything. You're sleeping, meditating, whatever. You can recover health, hope, and heart at the same time. It kind of goes hand in hand. The less pain you feel, you might have a little more hope. And we'll figure out what heart is in a little bit. Healing trauma. If you've suffered mental trauma, you can make an empathy roll each week to recover from it. Oh, so if you have amnesia, if you contracted the amnesia, you can try to recover from it in a week. This does not apply to trauma. That only gives you a condition. These are healed in a single shift as usual. Remember, difference between trauma and conditions. All right. Do you want to hit Heart and Blight again?
Sure.
Let me skim something real quickly here. Delving suits can protect you from Blight. I don't care about that. We're just going to go right into broken by Blight.
When your heart reaches 0, you are broken by Blight. You can make 1 move per round, but not perform any actions. You also suffer a Blight manifestation. Immediately roll on the table on page 70.
Yes! I love it. I will scroll over for you.
Additional Blight. If you suffer additional Blight while already broken by Blight,
had a pop up there.
If the page would stay still.
I know. If somebody know how to handle his damn PDF.
Each point of Blight instead counts as 1 point of damage. Okay.
Well, let's see what page 70 says.
Is Blight sort of like warp chaos mutation?
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I think I did mention that earlier. It's a bacteria? Did they say it's a bacteria? I don't know. It's an infestation that affects things that I can't believe that I forgot. It affects the portals. It affects
magic disease.
It's like a magic biological disease that affects machines.
Oh, so
it is like warp from Mutant Chronicles is actually pretty good.
Well, I was thinking Warhammer, but no, like as soon as you said it infects machines, I'm like, Mutant Chronicles.
Yeah, it had a very. I talked about that in the first video, the one that I did earlier today, that it had a very Mutant Chronicles feel to it, just not as obsessive. That makes sense.
Got it.
All right, so I'm rolling some Blight manifestation. I got me a 23. I keep rolling 23. Screw that. I'm not doing 23 again. I don't care. 33.
33. Phantom sensations. You suffer
yep.
intense burning and itching on your skin. You become dazed.
Dazed. Which one's that? So we're on page 74 right now. dazed is agility. So that's agility.
Look,
So
if you're
-2.
itching, do you think you're gonna dodge as well?
No.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, maybe you get a bonus because it's like you're
you're constantly dodging with only. I love Mutant Chronicles, awesome IP. Yes. Yes. Mutant Chronicles is kind of second to Alternity. And I'm specifically talking the 2D20 version, even though I'm not a fan of Modifius. I am talking the 2D20 version of it. I would like to someday be in the future, be in a campaign, not a one shot. I'm sick and tired of one shots. I want to be in a campaign of Mutant Chronicles. So don't worry, Rocky. This is going to stay. I'm actually using the Rumble Studio right now. I'm testing it. That's this whole point of the stream is to test the Rumble Studio for purposes that I might have in the future. So this video is going to stay on Rumble. For the folks on YouTube, YouTube is crying at me about how the bitrate is wrong. Apparently, I mean, at least in my preview here, I look like crap. Brian looks. I mean, the entire video looks like crap. So I don't know how it looks over on YouTube. I kind of don't care. But the fact that Rumble lets me co-stream to YouTube is pretty good. But yeah, so this is going to stay on the Rumble side. So this should not go behind a paywall. I'm gonna settle for a one shot. The reason why I want to do more than a one shot in some of these games is because I want to see how the system lets the character grow. Like, there is absolutely something you can get out of a one shot, even solo play to some degree, that will help you understand the basics of a game. But there's certain nuances that happen in games from leveling up, from experience, from going from adventure to adventure, that I think are necessary to really grasp the full gamut. For example, it wasn't until I did a campaign of Forbidden, of Year Zero games, that I learned that the game goes from, oh my God, we're getting our ass beat, to we're kicking ass and taking initials because we don't have time for names, like that. I mean, and I don't mean it happens in the second session. What I mean, there's no mid game. It goes from, oh crap, are we going to live? Are we going to live? Are we going to live? To, we beat everything now. So one of the things I learned, and I mentioned this in the first video, is that I would slow experience. I would make everything cost double the experience of what it says in the book. Oh my God, you're such an evil person. Yep. Because I like my campaigns to last years, not months. But I wouldn't know that by doing it. By the way, I'm not saying that the system is wrong, bad, or otherwise. I'm just saying that's just one of the things that I learned. And I could only learn that by playing multiple sessions. I hope that makes sense. All right. Heart and Blight broken. Oh, that's it. That's it for Blight? Oh, Blight attack. Okay. Recovering heart. Here you go.
There are two ways to recover from being broken by Blight. Decontamination. Someone can help you by decontaminating you. This counts as an action for them and requires a roll for logic. If the roll is successful, you immediately recover heart equal to the number of Romulan warbirds rolled, and you are no longer broken. Only broken victims can recover heart this way. A decontamination dose will decontaminate you automatically.
I thought you just have to sing, all I want to do is make love to you. That's probably gross for me to sing.
To Max. Not singing that to Max.
It's a heart song. I don't know. Do I know any other heart songs? I can't.
Can't help you.
Did they do Barracuda?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway.
I'm not the one to ask.
Oh, wait. No, you get to start up here. Wait, hold on. Where are we?
Right there.
Recovering. Yep. Okay. It is on your own. Yep.
Right. On your own. If no one is around to help you, you automatically recover 1 point of heart after one shift has passed. If you are in a blight-free area or in a delve camp. Okay. So you can't recover your heart if you are still in a contamination zone. When not broken,
kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
I mean, it's a theory, you know. When not broken or suffering from another effect that blocks recovery, you spontaneously heal 1 point of heart per shift. You can recover health, hope, and heart at the same time. Okay, Blight manifestations.
I'll move it in a second. I'm typing.
Oh, son of a...
I communicate with my audience, especially when somebody else is working and I'm not. There we go. Oh, that went to YouTube also. That's funny.
No, but that's actually yeah, that is one annoying thing about multi-streaming is that you end up, especially if you put stuff into chat,
Yeah.
you end up with some weird
Well, I
chat.
could always, I mean, it gives you the option here, just like Restream and so forth. I could have just sent it to Rumble. I didn't. There. See, now it's
Oh.
set to Rumble only. Hi. And that went to Rumble and not to YouTube.
Got it. All right, blight manifestations. When your heart is reduced to 0, you suffer a blight manifestation, but these can also be caused by certain creatures and locations. When you suffer a blight manifestation for whatever reason, roll on the table on page 70. Note that a blight manifestation won't necessarily make you broken. Healing blight manifestations. Each blight manifestation has a listed healing time. Conditions, damage, and despair suffered as part of a critical injury heal normally, unless indicated otherwise.
Okay. Well, I know there are other dangers here. Talk about fire and explosions and so forth. There's a lot more to this game, and maybe once I get my OBS set up, because that's going to be my next test, we can look at that. But ultimately, you guys are getting what the game is about, how it works. We haven't gone into really too many dice rolls, like exactly what a combat roll would look like. Let me see something here. There's vehicle combat here. Does it use the Coriolis rules? Or does it do something else? I'm interested in this for a second, actually. The Starship and Vehicle Combat, shuttles, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to skim through it because Coriolis actually had some rules that I liked. Again, simplistic, but I liked the simplicity. It still made sense. Altitude. Oh, it's getting an altitude here. Critical damage vehicle. Okay, vehicle action, speeding, firing mounted weapons. No, it looks like it's doing something different this time around. So I'll have to read that at some point. That's a little different than its zones that it kind of had spread out. Chases, that's cool. Okay. The bird and its power. We're not going to read that now. This is going to be important because this is going to be one of the unique aspects of Coriolis. So maybe this is what we'll touch on when I do this again. Like I said, once I have my OBS set up. The bird and play. There's one more thing I want to do, and Brian, you're welcome to hang out for this. I'm not going to do it for long.
Oh, I'm hanging out because we're going to play around with you or
Okay.
Rumble Studio after we're done.
Okay, sounds good. I'm closing the book, so if you guys want anything else out of the book, you're not going to get it because I have to shift some stuff here. I'm going to play a video game now.
Oh.
Can we do this in a little bit? I don't like this layout, this whole full screen thing. Can we unfull screen that and, kind of show the background a little bit? Apparently, no. Yep. It doesn't matter what I select. Okay, whatever. I'll probably have to go back to the presentation anyway. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I learned something during the Minnesota State High School hockey tournament last year when I was streaming a Game Master Insight episode, is that StreamYard does not handle fast video a lot. I also learned that when I was streaming, or not streaming, recording, what do you call that game? I forget what the dumb name of the game was. I didn't even like it. But it didn't handle the stream side of it well. It was really choppy. So I want to see if Rumble Studio is going to be choppy. So I'm going to load up Icarus, a game that I'm very fond of right now. I'm going to make a brand new character so you can see the beginning of the game. Mostly because I don't want to mess with my characters that I've already developed. Go away. Go away. Go away and give me my game. Okay. Presentation. Share. Oh, it's not letting me share that. Can I share window? But I don't know if it will give me sound if I do that. So I'll have to do entire screen, which is bad for... Okay. We'll try this for now and see what happens. Okay. Hide that. How smooth was that video?
I don't think it was that smooth, but
okay.
You didn't let it go very long.
That's fine.
Pretty smooth.
Okay, let's create a new character. There isn't much in character customization, so masculine, I don't care. We'll go with a little red in there. He's got a little red on his belt. Don't care about voices, heads, and all the other stuff because it just doesn't matter. Maybe later on when they have optimizations and so forth. I can have a logo. I want to put my logo on there. Here, I'll give him a logo. No, I don't. I just don't care. Ooh, cap style. Is that new? I don't remember that. Oh. Whatever. What's that strip? Yes, we have to do that. Oh, and yes, I have to have all the microphones.
Snoopy.
Character name, Testes, because he's testing. Confirm character. All right. New world, open world. We'll start on the easiest one. Create a new open world, normal. Enter prospect, Testes land. No, ballsack. Claim prospect. And I don't have any, because I don't do the one important thing in the game. I don't do the missions ever. I have high level characters and I never do the missions. I just like building my outposts and surviving. Anyway, confirm loadout. Let's go. And we're going to start up here. This is easy. This is crazy easy mode. Actually, the first time I ever played, I did Riverlands. And it's relatively easy, especially once you know the game. This is stupid easy mode down here. If you've never played before, I suggest you start in the conifer. Oh, it even says recommended. Yeah, it is. Wow. Here, I don't think you should start unless you have you've actually done some missions and got like cold weather gear or the ability. I tried to start up here, and even with all my experience, I was struggling like crazy. So we're gonna start here, Riverlands. We're gonna drop. No friends. This is just me. Yes. And you guys' job is to tell me what this video looks like, and I can't see chat now. So that's going to be on you. Tell me how the video is. Is it choppy? Is it watchable? This is going to be important for potentially November 11th, Veterans Day stream.
Can you hide the chat on the screen?
Oh yeah. Yes, I can. Let me find out where that is again. I can if I can get my mouse to move over there. What the hell is it? I have to find those options. Studio. There we go. And I can remove viewership stats too.
First things first. If you want to complete missions for the UDA, you'll need to craft a short-range radio.
Yeah, we'll
Plenty
do
of
that tier
folks
2.
need help, and factions pay well for prospectors that offer
All right,
their
let's grab some
time.
rocks and sticks and
Up to
plants
you.
and tell this guy to
Stay
shut
safe.
the hell up. Where am I exactly? Oh, I'm over there. Usually I start up here. Okay, cool. I like to build my first house there, but we're not even going to get that far. We are not going to play this game so long that I even have a full-on house. I don't think, anyway. I smashed a tree, but I don't even have... Can I build a... Nope. I need more stone. What's scary about this land is bears. Bears will eat me like you wouldn't believe. So, actually, right now, so will wolves. Until I can get a bow. And I am very scared of bears. Why do I not know where I am? Oh, because I'm on the other side. Actually, no, I usually start up here. I said over... There's a... Yeah, there's a what do you call it? A cave over here. That's good. Okay, I know where I am now. I know where I am. I usually build my house, starting house right there. So, let's get some rocks. How's the chop look?
Now I do wonder if it's affected by the fact that I've got the studio going and the stream going. The stream's a little pixelated. It's not horrible, but
I don't have chat. Well, I mean, I'm on a different panel right now, and I don't want to alt tab again.
No, don't worry about it.
What are people in chat saying anything about this?
Apparently, Hart did do Barracuda.
Okay, thanks.
That's the only chat that I see since then.
Okay. Do we want wood
and that's
or
on
rocks?
the Rumble side. I'm not on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, actually, I can see YouTube. I have that up over there. Okay. What is that? No! It's a murder horse. Goddamn murder horse. I don't have a weapon yet. Fuck, I hate these things.
You have a stick. Hit it with a stick.
I have a... Well, can I hit it with this? I don't know. I've never tried actually doing that.
Look at that. You have a stick with a rock.
Come on, murder horse. Yeah, take that. Smack you in the face. Back off. Back off. Hey, I won. I have a little health left, too. Awesome. Screw you, murder horse. And I can't because I didn't make a knife yet. Can I make... I can't even make a knife. Oh, I have to research a knife. Oh, I have to be level 2 to make a knife? Lame. Oh, so I can't skin it. Let's grab more rocks and... what do they call it? Tyrannuses or terraces or some crap? But I call it murder horse.
But murder horse works for me.
Yeah. Okay. Just keep picking up stuff. Can I make a knife? No, I can't make a knife. What can I make? Oh, I can make a choppy chop. There we go. Now we can start building a shelter. Die. Okay. I was actually seeing if I can skin it this way. I cannot. You actually have to use the knife. These blue rocks right here, this is oxygen. I kind of need this. So this is a low oxygen planet, so you're always worried about your oxygen. Hey, I leveled up. I can make a knife now. So let's grab this. I will show you in a second. I'm really not trying to teach everybody how to play this game, so I just kind of want to talk through it a little bit while I play. I want to play for about 15 minutes or so that we can see if we got any decent, any issues with the stream. So anywho, there's my oxygen, and there are better ways later to make it so it doesn't go away so fast, but you have to level up for that. I find this game to be a great balance between, oh my god, I'm gonna die, and, okay, now it's not so hard. Storms are the big issue in this game. Storms are what murderfy you. Well, and wolves, and murder horses, and bears. I'm smacking. Oh, that's right. I have to actually hit the button to pick stuff up now. Low-level characters are lame. Oh, by the way, no! God dang it. Go away. I might not live through this because he's dodging. Yep, health low. Oh, did I get him? Ah! Serves you right. I still don't have a knife. I can learn how to create a knife, though. Factory, right? Yes, knife. Stone knife. Gimme. Where's arrow? Where's my bow and arrow? Wooden bow and stone arrow. All right, game on, ladies. Game on. Craft me a bow. Craft me a whole bunch of arrows. I only have 14, but that will have to do for now.
So is this like... I realize this is like... so it said... I looked at the thing. It said a terraforming situation gone wrong, but it's like... I just came down in an escape pod, yet all I have is stone and sticks.
It's a survival game, man. Just think of it, it's a survival game. Forget all the rest. It's a survival game.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I have that. I need to get some more stone. Oh, God, they scared me. Oh, that's right, they're buffalo here, but buffalo are friends. I don't remember how to heal at this point. I know that I can make some sort of healing salves. I am very nervous about bears because I know there are bears in this area, and I cannot kill a bear. Oh, another murder horse. But I have a bow now. Hey, murder horse, take that, and take that, and take that. Uh-oh. Did he actually get to me? Take that. Take that. Okay. Leveled up again. Ha. And now, if I had food, I could actually take this baby as a pet. Hey, little guy. I don't have food for you. Okay, rocks. I need rocks so I can make a knife. And then I can skin those son of bitches. More rocks, please. Rock. Or I could just pound a rock right here, right? Alright. Can I make a knife? That's all that matters. Crafting. Knife. Gimme. Alright, stone knife. Let's go skin us an animal. Where'd he die? I don't even remember where I killed these things. There's baby. Let's go find... Oh, let's go kill this murder horse right here. 0. Oh, I gotta get a water purifier done. Oh, I'm not gonna play that long. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm not seeing anybody say anything. Is anybody... really, if you're watching, please just let me know how this looks. Does it look pixelated? Does it look reasonable? Whether you like the game or not, would you tolerate watching something like this in terms of... I say this... like it's not stuttery, choppy, you know, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Oh, and you can get buffalo too. And these things can carry a lot.
I mean, quality-wise, at least for me, it seems fine.
Are you seeing it directly like how I am through the studio, or are you watching it on Rumble?
I have both.
Okay, so on Rumble it looks good?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I don't think I have to do too much more here. I don't want dirt. I just want... how many? 4 points. 1. And wood building base. I don't have a shovel built yet. I don't even know if I can make a shovel. Guess I'd have to learn that. Playing low level is a little weird. Shovel. There's a shovel. Can I make it? After. Shovel, yes I can. Make you. Look, I can't feed you right now. Your mom's still alive. Go away. Okay. Oh, God. I only get 3 pokes out of that? Crafting. No, this is not enough to build a house. I'm just...
3 pokes before the shovel breaks?
No, it didn't break, but before I'm out of stamina.
Oh, God. Okay.
So... 6. So I'll put... like I said, I'm not doing something real. So I put my dirt mound there. What do I need in order to make wooden structure? See, I'm at part of the game with both my characters where I'm making concrete structures, so I forget how to make wooden structures. Crafting. Okay, I can do that. I want 4. Can I make 4? I can only make 3. Whatevs. I'm not putting them on poles because, again, oh, look at this. Ah, we got a little mine. I can't use it right now. It's a salt mine. Whatever. But building this right next to a mine. I would never build here, by the way.
So ungrateful for all the things the game provides.
Yes. When you see how much this game wants to kill you. There we go. Got a little floor going on. I need to break more trees, kill more stuff. Oh, crap. You know what? Can I do this since I killed something really early?
Do you just need the one dirt platform for what you're doing?
Yes and no. Yeah, for what I'm doing, yes. For a real game, I wouldn't do that. I don't have a bedroll in here. Is that a bedroll? No, it's an energy bar. Bedroll. Need a fire, and I'm out. Oh, I'm not going to have a bedroll. But can I at least make the campfire? Because if a storm comes, I'm going to die. Even though the first few storms are pretty weak. I'm at least not going to feel well when it's done. Some oxygen on the ground. Let's go grab some more of this. By the way, the people who watch this video later are like, I thought this was supposed to be a video about Coriolis. Hopefully we said enough times that this video is actually about testing Rumble Studio.
And we covered Coriolis.
Yep. Now you're getting the bonus.
Right. This is the hidden track.
The hidden track. The B-side. Crafting. Make a U. Craft. Here. Hey, baby murder horse. You're in my way, by the way. Just saying. Boy. Booyah. And do I have any wood? I have 11. That's it. Well, it's going to have to do for now. I need charcoal. Oh, crap. I need to level up. Shit. Otherwise, I'm going to die of thirst, or I'm going to get all types of bacteria and disease. And yes, grabbing all this stuff helps me level up, especially at low levels. Oh, wheat. That's going to be cool later.
Yeah, my struggle with these kinds of games is just the, like, I don't work well in games without objectives.
Oh, there are objectives. It's just right now your objectives is just to survive. Once you do that, did you remember when that dude was talking to me and I kept telling him to shut up?
Yes.
The game kind of turns into like a little monster hunter thing, so to speak. But I honestly, I've done one mission with 2 characters that are in their 30s, I think. And one might be 40. I've done one mission ever. Oh, take that. I'm like the opposite. Oh, those are the fast birds. You can also take those. Oh no, they attack. Shit. I forgot that. They attack. Moas are fast, and if you get the baby, you have one hell of a fast runner. So let's I know a lot of people don't like survival or crafting games because they're just boring. I get it. You know, I'm not gonna.
Oh, I am glad you enjoy them. I don't knock people for enjoying them. I personally struggle.
Yeah, I like them when they're not too crazy. For example, there's a game called Green Death out there. I hate that game. It's not fun at all. You have to measure like how many calories you eat per day. Everything you trip on kills you or gives you some freaking disease. It's not fun. It's not exciting. It's just how many ways can you die? It's not even like a roguelike game because I kind of like roguelike games where you're meant to die, but then you kind of progress from that. No, it's just a game about how evil a game can be. I know there's a lot of people out there who like survival games, who like that game. I can't stand it. I like my game to have a challenge. As you saw, we got attacked multiple times already. And we haven't come across a bear. A bear will kill me. I have no chance against a bear. I do know the secret of beating them, but with the amount of damage my weapon does and with no armor at all, I would have to be so crazy lucky to beat a bear. And they do roam this area. And bears will actually just beat down your house. Especially a wooden house. It's like, little pig, let me in. The bear will let himself in to a house like this.
It's a bear.
It's a bear. Yep.
Have you met bear? No, just kidding.
I see what you did there. I'm going to build my little shelter so I can save and then we'll call it a day. But I have to get a bedroll before I can do that, which means I have to level up. All right. So let's deploy these. Oh, I need 8, not 4. Dum-dum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I need 4 more. And I'm going to have to eat that raw. Oh, no, what am I doing? I don't have to eat raw food. I have a freaking fire. Stupid.
That's why we can't have nice things, Max.
Because I'm stupid?
Yes.
Fair enough. Sounds right.
The math checks.
How many people are watching now? I have that turned off.
7.
Oh, that's cool.
Only one on Rumble. Everyone else is on YouTube.
Fair. How does it look on the YouTube side? YouTube folks, tell me. Because that was where I was getting a lot of chop previously. 1, 2, 3, and R. No, not R. Oh, hold down R. That's what. Give me a door. Can I make a door? By the way, this still will not. I can. This will not protect me from the storms because I don't have a ceiling yet. And I now just realized I don't have enough stuff for ceiling. So we got to go get more wood or more whatever. And oh, yes, you can burn down your house. I have done it before. A lightning strike can burn down your house. A lightning strike can burn down this entire forest. Fun times. If by fun, you're a masochist. What the hell is that noise? Get my bow out. I only have like 10 shots left or something, too. I don't really need rocks now. What do I need? I have plenty of wood. I just need more fiber and looks like fiber and sticks. That crap up off of here. So once I can I level up and I can build my bedroll, I'll save it and log out and call it. Brian, thanks for jumping in. This really did help, by the way.
Sure.
Even if
again, I wanted to figure it out just because, again, I might have switched over to Rumble Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of paying for StreamYard again, if I'd gotten it to work previously.
Yeah, I tried it like 2 years ago when it first came out. Oh, there we go. I leveled up. Good. Oh no, I didn't. I just
last 6 months.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like it wouldn't pull the video or audio It was super dumb.
By the way, if you're seeing some chop and stutter now, that's actually my computer. I wonder if it's because of the 4K monitor, even though I don't have the graphics max. I do that intentionally because I know I'm going to stream. Yeah, that stepping and stuttering and chop, that actually came from Rumble itself. Or not Rumble, sorry, the game itself. Okay, now theoretically I'm safe during a storm. I should build a hammer so I can fix this wood at some point. Oh, I'm going to starve. So crafting, or not starve. First thing I need is a bedroll. And the second thing I need, I have 0 points of ilk. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna have to drink some bacteria-laden water and hope I don't get sick.
You're gonna die.
People want to see that anyway, so.
That's fair.
I don't like how my frame rate is dead right now. And there we go. Oh, I didn't. Oh, no, I have 4 minutes, and I can possibly contract something within 4 minutes. Oh, Lord, is this frame rate crap. The weird thing was, it wasn't like this a moment ago. Like, I was playing the game just fine. What changed?
I don't know.
Well, I just need to pick up stuff, chop stuff, break stuff until I can get to level 2 so I can build the, what do you call it? Bedroll. Yep, I got it. I got parasites. Dang it. Hey, a pumpkin was growing inside this stone.
I mean, sounds like a natural place for a pumpkin.
Hey, it's an alien world. You never know.
Alien pumpkins, start their lives gestating within rocks.
Yeah, like Obsidian. Who gets that reference?
Nope.
Drink. There you go. Now I got you. Choppy. You know what I should?
Real quick, I'm going to hijack your stream for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Go check out @ReadingWikis on YouTube. Also on Rumble, Reading Wikis for you. I don't know how to find it on Rumble, but whatever. Anyways, go check that out. Sort of like an interesting fact of the day kind of channel where I read Wikipedia articles, and I'm pimping it because for some reason I got 5 new subscribers today.
Nice.
So I'm up to 36. I'd like to get it to 40. Let's get a nice round number out there. Anyways, that's @ReadingWikis.
So a storm is coming in. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, it kind of shows it's a weak storm. It's green. But I got the warning, and a storm is coming in. If I stay out here, I will start suffering problems. And I think it'd be fun to show people the problems. Although I'm really angry that all of a sudden I'm getting no frame rate in this game. We saw the beginning of it. It was just fine.
Wait, so in the upper right, is that position based or is that like time based?
It's time based. So,
okay, so
you see the red part that's sneaking on the screen right now?
Yeah.
That's the part. And if you look in this the middle, it says storm exposure. That means I need to get inside. That red part means that's where it might damage my house, and I don't have a hammer to fix it. But I do need to get inside. I said get inside. Close the door. And eat my meat. Okay, child. Of course, I'm not gonna lie. I realized what I said after I said it as well, so.
Well, you brought that on yourself.
I did. I cannot argue that. And now I just have to wait. Later on, storms get rough, man. Lightning storms, you have to have like lightning rods and so forth. And if like a building like this will just get blown away, you have to be careful. Like lightning will cause fires. The lightning storms don't happen, I think, if I remember correctly, lightning storms don't happen right away. Like I think it takes a couple of quote unquote weeks game time before those things really kick in. I might be wrong about that. Maybe I've just been lucky. But yeah, lightning storms are no joke. And you probably have enough. Oh, you're in your last log anyway. I don't care. Yeah, I have enough charcoal there. I need to level up so that I can get a water purifier and a bedroll, and I can't really log out without a bedroll. Because that's your respawn point. Would you hurry up? Oh my god. The red part's coming in soon. Another place you can go if you haven't built a house is you can go hide in caves. But the caves also give you sickness, or can give you a sickness.
I mean, you're hanging out with all the bat poop. Makes sense.
Kinda. It's a lung rot thing. It only lasts like 9 minutes, that sickness. But when you're chopping ore inside a cave and all of a sudden you chop it 4 times and you're like, oh man, I got sick. And I'm stubborn. Instead of running out for 10 seconds like I should, and not even 10 seconds, just running out and then going back in, I'm like, nah, I can get one more rock. And then I don't. This is only a level 2 storm and it's green, so it's not going to be too bad, but it might knock over some trees. So let's see if we see anything interesting happen. Now that we're in the red zone, this is the dangerous part. There you go, tree fell. By the way, a tree can break this house. Absolutely. If it falls on it, it can break this house. Oh!
Speaking of,
there you go. Can I craft a hammer? No, I can't craft a hammer because I didn't learn how to build one. So I'm just kind of stuck here with that until I can build a hammer. Well, I'm glad. Look at that. I got to show some of the game off. So what I normally do when I have baby deer. Oh, hi, baby deer. You're going to get afraid of me when you see me. Where's mommy? Oh, didn't get afraid of me. Weird. Yeah, so this happened. Stone houses for the win. Actually, concrete houses for the win. Okay, theoretically, I should be able to go outside and not be too bad off. Let's go see if we can get this level up. You know, we got a free tree to smack, right? I'm going to take some damage, if you want to call it that. And that's because I'm still out here. But if you look really carefully, after that cloud, it kind of lightens up. You're safe to go outside after that. Oh, and a tree can fall on you and kill you. Ask me how I know.
If it can break your house, it would make sense to, you know,
ask me how I know.
Character. How do you know, Max?
I watched it in a video.
I watched it in a video.
I will never say it happened to me. Oh crap. Those birds, I'm surprised they're not attacking me. They will attack you. They are not peaceful necessarily. They're not as bad as murder horses, wolves, or bears. But they will attack you, and they're really hard to hit in the head. Because, you know, they have small heads. I'm really surprised it didn't attack me. Maybe the game's taking pity on me because I'm streaming in low level. Just one bedroll. I gotta level up here. Bedroll and a water purifier. Actually, why? Who cares? I'm not keeping this character. All right. Well, there you go. That's Icarus. Like I said, most of the issues that I had actually came at the end. At the beginning, I don't know how it was, but return to character select. It'll save. I don't care. I'll delete the character. I didn't need any of this anyway. So we can stop sharing. That's over. Oops, out of the game. Desktop. And yes, I do like games like that. And stop sharing. Okay, cool. There we go. Well, that was fun. I think I'm going to end the stream. I know you said you wanted to test a couple things. Do you want to do that on stream or off stream?
We can do it off stream.
Okay. That's cool. Well, thank you everybody for being here and who put up with all this weird nonsense. Again, this was for a test for Rumble Studio, and it allowed me to, you know, go through Coriolis, The Great Dark, which is a game I think I want to try so far. I'd like somebody else to run it, and I think I'd like to try it. It actually, believe it or not, and I don't know why, but I'm finding I have more interest in this than I did in Coriolis The Third Horizon, and I liked Coriolis The Third Horizon. The only thing I would change from Coriolis The Third Horizon is I'd get rid of the Arabic stuff, because I couldn't do it justice. Not that I hated it, I just couldn't do it justice. Here, I think I'd want to play it as is. It seems interesting so far.
So what did they change setting wise?
It's more of a survival game. It's exploring, it's survival. The example that they use, so with Coriolis they use Arabian Nights, right? Arabian Nights in space. Well,
Right.
this one they said it's 19th century explorers in space.
Why would they change it so dramatically?
Because a different group of people. So
So the quote unquote the core characters are a different group of people. So like
right,
the
right.
first
So in
okay.
Coriolis, the first and second horizon are war torn, and they would be more, to lack of a better way of saying this, they'd be more westernized. The third horizon was colonized by people that were more, I don't want to
Middle
say
Eastern.
Arabic.
Just say Middle Eastern.
Yeah, well, that's not fully true either. They pulled. Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean they went to Aldebaran, which is which is Arabic. It's a lot of Middle Eastern themes from it. Yeah, and then this horizon, I don't know who the diaspora is. When you think diaspora, you just think everybody, right?
Right.
So it's going to include, now it does include some people, some Coriolans or whatever they call it, the Coriolis faction. So that still sounds like they worship the icons. So that's neat. So that, so you can still bring that influence in here. But for me, that's not the big thing. The big thing for me in this one is, while I like the darkness between the stars in Coriolis, the third horizon, the more exploratory danger of this one I like more. It's my taste. It just fits my taste more. I think both games are good. This just fits my taste more. So it's that whole pancakes or pancakes and waffles or sausage and bacon thing. I prefer sausage, but I will definitely eat up some bacon.
That's fair. So,
all right.
No, it looks interesting. So
cool. And I just dropped my dice on the floor. Hold on, because I know a cat will try. No, go away. I know the other cat will try to eat it. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for putting up with this nonsense. I will try again either tomorrow or the next day with OBS and see how well that stuff works. Until then, thank you, Brian. And
thanks,
how do I end this? My whole 6 viewers. End stream. There it is. End the stream. Ending. Nope. I just want to end this. Oh, it gives you options. End stream or end and close room. End the stream, ends the stream, but keeps Rumble Studio open. So there we go. We can talk.
Cool.
Okay.